Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Listen online, the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Past shows are available on iTunes. Search under BMMS. Listen with your cell phone. Get the iHeartRadio app. Available from the App Store of your cell phone provider. More on that at iHeartRadio.com. And we're on Facebook. Facebook.com/BMMS69. That's where you can hang out with us each and every day. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, Gippy.
Well, good morning.
Tickets to see Hardy. Hardy's going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater on Thursday, May 30th over in Rogers. Tickets available, amptickets.com. See what Gimpy wants to talk about. We'll hit some Conspiracy Theory Thursday. We'll talk Brewers baseball. We got a very special Mother's Day edition of Top List. Top 5 TV and movie moms. Rick Horton's going to join us. It's always a good join as it's time for the 20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods Car and Bike Show. 20. That's a lot. And we're toasting to our troops. And if you are a vet or you know a vet that needs to be recognized or you want to recognize them just because they don't have to have done anything more spectacular than volunteering their life. But if you just want to honor a vet, we'd love to hear from you. Go to the contest page on the website that rocks, KMOD.com. On Monday, we're going to pick one and highlight them and talk to them on the air. If we do, that vet's going to get hooked up. Case of Shiner Bock and dinner for two at Mondo's Italian Restaurant in the heart of Brookside. Toast our troops, again, at the contest page at KMOD.com. Oscar Mayer is unveiling a new chili cheese stuffed hot dog. Now, I've seen the cheese ones that already exist.
Yeah.
And I am not a fan of pre-injected meat.
I believe they also had just chili ones. They were separate. At least back in my day. I remember, back in my day when I was a kid, it was we had the chili dogs and then the cheese dogs, but never the combination of the two. Because we used to get those and have them for lunch when we were kids.
So you're saying this has been around a while with the chili injected?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. And now having both of them combined, okay.
I've never seen these. I don't know if they come in the jumbo wiener, but I'm sure the average size is fine.
And it may not be, just to be honest with you, it may not have been Oscar Mayer when I was a kid. But I do remember because we had both packages because they were both good. One had chili in it. The other one had cheese in it.
Okay, so according to their website, they have they have a whole stuffed dogs line.
Really?
Jalapeno cheddar,
All right, then.
cheese, the chili cheese that I just mentioned. Who gets an Angus wiener?
Angus. Gus.
All beef.
I know about all beef wiener. But Angus.
Hey, it's for the people that don't, want the bad cow. I don't know.
I'm not a giant hot dog guy. I'm an average hot dog guy.
Yeah.
As my wife said so. And I just don't have a preference on them, but I am pretty hard-lined on pre-stuffed in any capacity.
Is it just because it's the process part of it? Or, why do you not like pre-stuffed? Like, you get, cheddar poppers from, Sonic or something, right? And those are pre-filled with some kind of weird cheese.
Yes, I don't get those, but I know what you're referring to. Yeah. And I know they have mozzarella sticks with marinara squirted in.
Yeah.
They do?
Apparently. I'm not a fan of that type of thing. But this just feels different.
Okay.
Because it's already an encased meat inside injected into a sleeve. And so we inject again. Nonetheless, that's not the real reason I brought it up, because it sent me down a rabbit hole of the number of, because someone was like, why don't they come pre-injected with mustard or pre-injected with ketchup? And I didn't know that there were so many variations of this, because there are some that exist. There is a hot dog out of Hawaii called a puka dog, and it is a hot dog bun it's a complete bun. It goes all the way around the hot dog. So they bake the bun, make a hole, I guess, and then slide the insert gently. Somehow they get slot A into slot B, but they also will put whatever the condiments you want.
So it's kind of like those sausage rolls you get like at like Daylight or something like that, to where like the sausage and then it has the pastry wrapped around it.
I think that's an excellent example.
Okay, which I like those.
Sure.
So it's kind of like a corn dog.
Well, no, corn dog is battered.
Right.
And then
yeah,
fried.
And in
Okay, yeah.
cornmeal, this is more of a breading.
And baked.
Yeah.
But in terms of a bread atmosphere around salty cured
Dog.
meat with cased in some sort of skin, yes. And it has a stick. And then there are, I didn't know this, and I think this is where I'm going to get Gimpy's attention, which is where I'm trying to get to. There is a whole line of people or group of people that take hot dogs or bratwursts.
Okay.
And Gimpy, you've smoked meat.
I did. I just smoked some last night, as a matter of fact. Smoked me some salmon.
Okay.
Nice.
And you know the injector when you're going to pre-infuse your meat when you're smoking?
Yeah. It's a giant syringe. You fill it with whatever flavoring that it is.
Brining liquid usually.
Yeah, you jam it into your meat and you plunge it down and it fills it up with, juicy goodness.
Again, I'm not a big hot dog guy.
Yeah.
Brats are good, but I'm pretty particular on those. But this is kind of an interesting idea. You take that injector.
Okay.
You fill it with your favorite spirit, or in Gimpy's case, tequila.
Yeah,
Right.
or whiskey, either one. But I'm following you. Yeah,
You
I'm
take
liking
the
it.
injector.
Uh-huh.
You grasp the wiener in your left hand or right hand, depending on your preference.
I can hold on as good as I can.
And then you take the injector, ease it in, and inject the alcohol into the hot dog or brat.
Done.
Isn't that brilliant?
Done. That sounds amazing.
Now, you're probably going to have to play with the amount.
Yeah.
Because for those that have never done this, the more liquid you inject, the bigger it will get. So if you've ever done it with meat, like when you're smoking meat, the meat gets plumps up.
It swells up. Yeah,
Yes.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
So that would I think you have to be pretty gentle with the process.
You don't want to ram it in there and
You don't want a busted wiener.
Exactly. It explodes and then you got wiener juice everywhere.
Yeah.
All right. I have never thought about that using liquor of sorts, but it sounds amazing.
It sounds brilliant.
I think that would fare well with, of course, a bourbon or a whiskey. Okay, a rum. Maybe even, I think, would be all right, like a spiced rum or something like that. Tequila, maybe. It depends. I would probably inject my chicken with a tequila more so than like a beef product or something like
awesome.
that. I feel like with beef products, you're probably better off using a darker liquor.
Oh, yeah. No, get in the weeds. I love it.
Yeah. But with like chicken, it would be like tequila, vodka. And that's fun because there's so many different flavors of vodka out there. Let's just say you wanted birthday cake flavored chicken.
Ew.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Let's go with like cherry.
Cherry was fine, sure.
Maybe blueberry.
Sure. Watermelon, sure. If you want to go off the wall, use a birthday cake or
A
some
peach and chicken
Okay.
or pork would be pretty good.
I would get down with that.
I think we got to say this part too, because maybe not everybody understands physics, is that when you use a bourbon or any alcohol and you put it on an open flame, as it leaks out, it will flare up.
Absolutely. So
It is a hazard to a degree.
Yeah, you'd have to cook it off to the side, not over direct heat, so that way you're not burning your wiener or whatever you're cooking.
'Cause hot dogs they cook so quickly too.
Sure.
Yeah.
So
Depending on the temperature and the flame.
Yeah.
a drunk dog, I like it.
I think it sounds brilliant, and I'm not just stopping at the wieners. I give it all to me, man. We're talking roasts, steaks. Imagine injecting a nice ribeye, right?
I don't know. I feel like you're ruining it.
You think so? Maybe. I don't know, man.
I mean, they already put like the whiskeys on ribeyes and stuff. The Jack
Are you talking
Daniels
barbecue sauce?
Yeah, I mean,
Putting barbecue sauce on a steak
Yeah.
seems
I mean-
blasphemous.
Ribeye is
yeah,
considered
of
the
course.
best cut of meat. And if you put other things on it, one would argue you don't know how to cook it correctly.
I wouldn't put anything on it, but putting it in it, for sure. I think something like that, like a spiced rum or like a Woodford Reserve, a good bourbon or whiskey would be fantastic inside of a steak of any kind.
Someone asked you, great question. Can the alcohol cook off if it's internal?
It would boil up and steam out.
Again, I don't know. We're flying off the cuff here.
Yeah, absolutely. This is uncharted territory.
I can't believe no one's thought of this.
I am so amazed by these words you were speaking to me right now.
Yeah, right? Like this has blown me away. There's a video for it too.
Yeah.
But I was like, I can't believe no one's ever tried this with spirits. Now, this isn't for everybody, but imagine like a hot damn cinnamon.
Okay.
Imagine a Jägermeister. I know.
It just gives me shivers. But I get what you're saying. The flavor is where we're at.
There's endless
Yeah, it's not
options.
It's not about getting drunk off the food that you're eating. It's just the flavor that's in it.
I think that's a good point. That is not the goal.
Yeah.
The goal is if you've ever had like a tequila chicken.
Yeah. When you're cooking with alcohol, you're not going to get drunk off of it. Think of like rum balls or a rum
Vodka
cake.
sauce.
Vodka sauce,
And
exactly.
pasta, yeah.
Yeah, it's just there for the flavor. Okay, I'm thinking when we get paid next and I go get groceries, that's something I'm going to experiment with. Yeah, that sounds brilliant.
Right. I'm curious to how this plays out. I think you should definitely, the first time, don't serve it to children because you don't know.
Absolutely.
Better to edge on the side of caution in the beginning. Maybe not have nothing to do. You eat like 3 and you're just like,
Yeah.
Here, Johnny, have a liquor wiener.
you're drunk on. I mean, it makes sense. Beer brats, right?
That's been a thing. But you're boiling it in the
Yeah.
beer. You're
Yes.
not injecting it.
Yeah.
So really, the flavor of the beer, I've never thought that it's getting inside because when I eat the beer brats, I don't taste the beer.
Do both.
Wow, for hell, might as
Yeah.
well. Might as well, I guess. But I don't think beer would work that well with something like
I
that.
think
Maybe
carbonation is not the right
that's
place
where
to
I'm
go.
at. That's where I'm at. Is the carbonation it wouldn't fare well with that.
You would have to take the beer. You would have to then let it sit out and the carbonation
Yeah.
go away and then just use the flat beer.
Oh, gross.
To be fair, it is the same taste minus carbonation, which is a gas. So
Yeah, you're right, but still, you drink a flat beer before, and it's just like, it'll get the job done, but
not in 39 years, probably.
I mean, if you use a stout, then you're getting a way less carbonation, I guess, or like
There's
a
carbonation.
Guinness.
Yeah, there's nitrogen. There's
Yeah.
gas in it. Still has gas in it. All beer has carbonation in it.
has to.
This
Otherwise,
is
it's
good.
fine.
I'm thinking of roasting a duck with like
Okay.
a smoked, more of like a smoky flavored whiskey or
Okay.
scotch even. Yeah.
Okay. I like the Scotch idea. It's got that real smoky flavor to it. Or like if you're going to use a tequila, like an Azul, that's got that real smoky flavor to it.
I am
Like where you're at.
duck and like a ribeye. Like I feel like those don't need anything. If anything,
Right.
maybe a sauce on top, like a Roquefort sauce or some sort of blueberry whatever. Duck is one of those things I think doesn't eat. But if whatever the rhythm of your dance floor is,
Yeah. This text says, screw beer up the butt chicken. Let's do vodka up the butt
Right.
chicken.
Here
Butt
for
chugging
it.
chicken.
never been a fan of that.
I've never tried it before. It just I've seen it, and I've seen the little kit, the stand that you put your beer can in, and I've never tried it. It just seems like a waste of beer, to me. And you wouldn't really. I don't think you would taste it that
And
way.
you got to cut the. It's like a whole thing.
Keeps it moist.
There's a good philosophical phrase called "should you." Yeah, you can, but should you? And I feel like that goes with that. Alcohol boils off at 170, 180 plus evaporation. You're not getting drunk.
No.
Yeah, but the internal for the item is 165 on a pork, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
So you're not even getting to 170 internally.
Right.
So you might get drunk. I don't know.
Might get a
I
little-
don't know.
there's
And I
a
don't
little-
even know if you want to get drunk, but you want the flavor. You want to see what it tastes
I
like.
can't believe someone else hasn't thought of that. Can't believe us clown asses are the ones that are.
Steck says, I'm now imagining like little Vienna sausage type wieners and booze instead of jelly. You know how they have that little jelly tripe at the bottom of it? They call them whiskey D's.
If you know somebody who makes little smokies and they make the sauce, because I've actually had somebody serve that to me, and they take little smokies and they make the sauce as normal, but they put whiskey in that sauce.
I've never thought about
Brilliant.
that. I just learned not recently about people putting jelly in there.
Oh, yeah.
Little smokies, and that's never been a thing for me. It's just straight barbecue sauce.
Dude, you do it in baked beans. It is the trick to make it kind of sugary caramelized.
Okay.
It's a hack.
Okay.
And you can use any, but grape is the one you should be using.
That's what I hear. That's the go-to. Strawberry is my jam, though.
Mine's just grape jelly, chili sauce, and brown sugar.
Okay.
All right, listen. That I knew you'd love that, Gimpy. There's a whole video. I'll send it to you.
Yeah.
We got tickets to Hardy we're going to give away. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, now playing only in theaters.
More of the Big Man Morning Show is next. 97.5.
She had been bitten. Her husband heard the commotion, comes out. Peggy, what the hell's going on? She told him what happened. He takes her to the ER. They treat her for the scratches and the bruises. Come to find out she wasn't bitten, but she did get close because she found some venom on the lens of her glasses.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. But nonetheless, Peggy's fine. Peggy's fine. She was treated. She went back to the house, and she considers herself to be the luckiest person alive to have survived such an attack. Not the first time Peggy was bitten by a venomous snake, though. She says she was bitten a few years back as well.
But I bet it's the last time she mows the lawn instead of her husband doing it.
Or she doesn't have a husband because he died suddenly.
Before the next lawn mowing?
Yeah,
Damn.
Crazy things happen.
Right.
Some women like mowing the lawn.
Yeah, I know. I enjoy it too. But, oh, man, if that happened to me, I'd be like, this is why you're supposed to be doing this, not me.
So put me in danger.
Right.
Yes.
She did say that her old man, when they got back to the house, she got back on the tractor, but he stayed close and kept an eye on.
Because
the
what's he gonna do?
Right.
Duck. Right. Stop. You see something flying, you just bat it out of the way.
No.
Yeah.
Wild brawl breaks out on dock among dozens of people. This happened out in Alabama on Saturday among dozens of people in a manic scene that mirrored a massive WWE fight, and it was all captured on video. Montgomery police have issued 4 active warrants as of Sunday, and more will likely follow as they review videos posted to X. Local NBC affiliates, station WSFA reported about 7 p.m. on Saturday, a witness claimed that a group of boaters refused to move their pontoon boat so that the Harriet II riverboat could dock. The account was seemingly backed up by the Montgomery mayor. He said last night the Montgomery Police Department acted swiftly to detain several reckless individuals for attacking a man who was doing his job. Warrants are being signed and justice will be served. A shirtless man appeared to throw the first punch, running up and punching the dock worker in the face. The worker tosses off his hat as onlookers shout, and the two struggle before 2 more men jump in and punch the staffer. A woman can be heard yelling at others to help the employee. A man then runs down a ramp to the dock, and another jumps in the river and swims over to defend the worker. Several others walk down on the dock in support of the dock staffer, and the fight appears to end. However, another clip shows a group of people approaching the pontoon boat, and the opposing groups began throwing punches, pulling hair, and even tossing a woman into the water as bystanders then start shouting. And then there's a third video that shows even more people, both men and women, joining the fight. One man takes a folding chair, whacks a man, and then he whacks a woman with it, and part of the pontoon boaters over the head with it before officers grab him and cuff him. Officers also cuffed several of the pontoon boaters. The fight appeared to develop along racial lines, as the boaters were white, while the dock worker and the others fighting against the boaters were black. And the police department said, as our police department investigates these intolerable actions, we should not become desensitized to violence of any kind in our community. Those who choose violence will be held accountable by our criminal justice system.
I mean, you can easily jump to the the one subject was black, the others were white.
Right.
And make that I don't know if they were like, he's black, how dare him talk to us.
Right.
I don't know if that's what happened. It definitely is possible.
Right.
But it's one of these cases of drinking and boating, and you
Exactly.
think the rules don't apply to you.
Yep.
There are no rules on the lake, bro. There's that video going around TikTok, like anything goes on the lake. Everybody who's driving is either drunk or 11, and people are just doing crazy, stupid stuff. It's the lake. Listen, I'm with you. There are rules, but it's seemingly there's no rules on the lake.
Let's just go with that's true. You weren't on the lake. You were docking.
Right.
Which means you were on someone's property.
Right. Now back to rules. No rules on the water, but you got rules on land. You better follow them.
And if you're gassed up and this riverboat, giant riverboat, needs to come in and dock, they're on a tight schedule.
Right.
So
Who cares
move
about
your
a schedule? It's my boat.
Yeah.
Right.
Move your pontoon
I don't
ass
have
out of the
some.
way.
I don't have some of my Triton.
Road rage leads to fights with spray paint. This happens down in Houston, where there's a dude. His name's Dave Winston. He's driving down the road on his phone, not paying no damn attention, kind of weaving in between lines. And so the people on the road call up the cops, and before the cops get there, Dave's at a stoplight, still on his phone, not paying any damn attention. So the light turns green. The guy behind him honks his horn. And Dave's like, what the hell, man? And they start yelling back and forth. They take off eventually. Well, while they're driving down the road, old Dave starts throwing stuff at the truck that's behind him that honks his horn at him, yelling and cursing, rabble, rabble, rabble. They get to the next stoplight, and when they get to the stoplight, that's when Dave gets out with a can of white spray paint, and he uses that to go spray paint the face of the driver behind him that he's fighting with, along with his truck, spray painted his car, and then use that same can of spray paint, break the back window. There you go. So then, the guy that honked his horn at him, it's not sure. Nobody really knows what happened here, whether he had his own can of white spray paint or he used the same can of white spray paint. But he goes and takes a can of white spray paint and sprays Dave's face with it. So now you got these two people pissed off at each other, white face spray painted, right? Cops eventually come out. They determined that Dave was the asshole aggressor in this one, and they took him in for felony criminal mischief.
What?
Yeah.
The pictures are amazing.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
I don't get it
How
either.
do you get that close to somebody that can spray paint you?
Right. I guess he did.
That good.
Right. Didn't think he was going to do anything about it. People get mad. They get all up in your face and, but if I see somebody coming at me with a can of spray paint, that's a weapon at that point.
Listen,
Yeah.
I could see it like you're going to get like part of my face or on the side or something, but they look like they've been antiqued.
Yeah, it's awesome.
So I don't know like how the
Maybe it had a wide nozzle on it, that kind of sprays
they
broadly.
have a pill for that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, the heat's got everybody acting crazy.
Oh, I'm telling you.
That is those pictures are unbelievable, man. They are some of the more spectacular photos we've had in a while. Italian cheesemaker dies after being crushed by rounds of cheese. An Italian cheesemaker is dead. He got crushed by all the cheese on the wall. That takes a whole new effect of cheese off the cracker, right? The man was checking on his cheese in the warehouse. It's unclear how the first collapse that triggered the domino effect occurred. There were 10 corridors of shelves that stretched floor to ceiling with about 1,600 rounds of cheese per corridor. It took rescuers 11 hours to find the 74-year-old. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. These quickies are stories you may have missed in the news. We cover them here and put a link on our Facebook page if you want more.
It's time for News Quickies, world news, local news, and news that just makes you say, what the Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with what's going on. News Quickies from the Big Man Morning Show at 97.5 KMOD.
Woman who identifies as a cat upstages bride at her wedding. This happened in Oklahoma City. The term Therian refers to people who identify as non-human animals and engage in behaviors associated with their animal identity. A woman named Mystique said she mistook the Therian for a cow sitting in the opposite field until some of her 100 guests began looking concerned. The 24-year-old who lives in Oklahoma City said the creature began bowing towards her and 22-year-old groom Michael Morris after they exchanged their wedding vows. Shocking footage shows the female crouching down like a cat on the other side of this little lake, just meters away from Mystique and Michael, where they were tying the knot. The mother of Mystique said, I was getting ready and I assume everyone had already seen her or him dressed as a cat. We all thought it was a cow at first from a distance. We live in Oklahoma, so it's very country and you see cows a lot. I actually didn't notice her at first. I was really distracted, but everyone else in the crowd saw her. When we turned to face the crowd and everyone was cheering, she was bowing in the background. She was crawling and acting like a cat. We believed it was an animal. No one paid that much attention at first until I got underneath the arch and she stood up and started recording us. Everyone thought it was really weird. The one thing that was frustrating was that a lot of people were paying more attention to her than the bride. She's like, I'm only getting married once. It was a fantastic day overall. This is just a light-hearted story to tell afterwards.
I feel like there's a giant jump here.
Why you say that?
Well, the video doesn't really give a ton of context. Two, how did they get all this background information that this person identifies as a cat?
I think when they show up to the wedding dressed as a cat.
They are not at the wedding.
Oh.
They're across a pond on the other side of pasture.
Oh.
And videoing isn't that bizarre. People video people getting married in public all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess. But why would she videotape someone you don't know?
People do it all the time at weddings. Or engagements or things like that. People do it all the time.
Unless maybe it was an old, like, high school enemy. I mean, the couple's young in their 20s. Like, I'm going to
You can have modern day enemies. You don't have to go all the way back to high school.
I'm going to be a distraction at her wedding day.
Y'all crazy.
Dress as
Not
a
everything
cat.
is a zero-sum game. But that feels like a lot of jumping. And the video doesn't, like, pan out to see how close this was. It's, like, super zoomed in.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell if even it's still a wedding or if it was after.
Right. All you can see is the top of somebody's ball cap.
Yeah.
When they're looking at the cow, that thing across the pond.
Yeah, it's very bizarre for sure.
Man and woman accused of having sex in county jail lobby.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, they just couldn't
About
wait.
the balls on these people, huh? This comes out of Wisconsin at the Waukesha County Jail. See, what had happened was a 28-year-old dude named Desmond Cleveland and his 67-year-old girlfriend, Karen Hill, were supposed to meet up and stay at a boarding house there, but they got locked out. So they took refuge in the county lobby or county jail lobby. And while they were there, they initially started, to take a nap, but then they decided it was a good time to have a good time. And a deputy had gotten a call about maybe some disorderly conduct or lewd and lascivious conduct happening in the lobby. So he goes out there to check it out, and he finds Karen there. Desmond's not around anywhere, but Karen's there. And he starts questioning her, and she told him about the boarding house and how they decided to just kind of crash out in the lobby of the jail there. And she says that they did have the sex and that they used articles of clothing to try to cover themselves up so nobody would see what would happen. And the deputy was able to pull the surveillance footage, see what was going on. And she says that the sex was consensual and that they had been together for 5 years. And when they finally caught up with Desmond was questioned and simply responded with, sex happens. And that he knows that there was cameras around. Either way, they went ahead and took those two in for disorderly conduct.
I'm impressed.
By what? Having sex in
all
the
of it, every aspect of this.
The fact that a 67-year-old woman bagged a 28-year-old dude?
Yep.
Or is it the 28-year-old guy who likes grilled cheese?
Yep.
Right.
There's a lot going on in there.
So, like, they go in there and they are laying down on the ground in, like, I guess, like, using it as a shelter.
Yeah.
Which I can't believe they got to do that for that long.
Right.
And they, over in a corner, they put a blanket down and a spoon and put a towel over their nether regions and go to work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So bizarre. Of all places to get it on, man. Like,
jail lobbies.
yeah.
Turn me on.
But, I mean, listen, if they're homeless, which is kind of what I'm thinking that they are, because they're supposed to meet up at this boarding house but got locked out, and then they went to the county jail lobby to seek refuge. If they're homeless and looking for, 3 hots and a cot, let's just go in there. And what's a good way to get in trouble? Well, let's just go ahead and bang one out right here in the lobby. They'll put us in. We'll be in for a day or two, maybe a little bit longer.
Like, do you think they were trying to get arrested?
That's kind of what I'm thinking. And they wanted to bang it out.
I'm surprised they even got that far. Like, they let people camp out in the lobby of a jail.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would think that if you're hanging out, someone's going to come out and tell you to move along.
Right. Yeah, maybe they do things different there in Waukesha County.
They absolutely do.
Yeah.
Dead whale found on cruise ship bow. This is an actual animal.
Yeah.
Investigation is underway after a dead whale was found on the bow of a cruise ship in the port of Brooklyn. The body of an endangered sei whale, around 44 feet long, was discovered as the roughly 1,000-foot MSC cruise ship pulled into the terminal Saturday. The 30,000-pound whale was hauled to the Jersey shore for a necropsy, which is an autopsy for animals, to help determine if the whale died from a ship strike or had already been dead or injured. The National Oceanic Atmospheric Administration, one of the many agencies that have been investigating the incident, says sei whales are typically seen in deeper waters far from the coastline. We got a lot of drag today, Captain. I don't know what. Whale dead ahead!
Well, at least it was just a whale and not an iceberg.
That is true.
It could have gotten way worse. Yeah. I think that's roadkill, to be honest with you.
Like it just was in the way?
It was in the way, and they got hit and got hung up, because it just kept plowing forward, and it just maybe hung up on a fin or something.
I'm curious to how many times do animals hit cruise ships and die? Does that happen? Is that a thing?
I would imagine so, because it's not like you can see what's in front of you, with the exception of an iceberg or something like that. But it's not like a road. When you're driving down the road and a deer darts out in front of you, you can see it, right? You can't see that on a boat.
Sure, the source, the vision is a little obscured. I get that. But even then, like a squirrel will get out of the way in the road. Do dolphins or whatever just...
Yeah, I'm thinking so. Like the bigger the animal, like a dolphin or a whale, like not all deer get out of the way.
100%.
You know what I mean? But it seems like the smaller animals are quick to get out of the way. Squirrels, rabbits, and such like that. But deer, dogs, not so much. So maybe that's how it is.
All these stories are on our Facebook page, facebook.com/BMMS69.
Tulsa's morning.
He has lifted up trash can to dump it, right? And found prostitutes back there at work.
Behind
the trash can, working. People doing drugs and stuff back there. So, yeah, that's another not really surprising at all.
Yeah. One guy says, I worked at a medical waste factory where we would find amputated body parts and bins full of blood and used needles. Yeah. Cold hard cash. I found $4,000 worth of cash in a cereal box once.
Nobody will ever look in the tricks.
Yeah. Local gypsies had been cleaning out their caravan and threw out the box of cash by mistake.
Did you say gypsies?
Yes.
Huh.
Yes.
Okay.
We managed to find the box and rightfully return them their money.
I can only go with what I've seen happen with my trash being picked up.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't go through the trash.
Right.
They just dump it in the thing.
Yeah.
And on to the next stop, right?
Yeah.
And I would think when they dump it at the dump, they back up, open the hatch, dump, pull away.
Same, yeah.
That makes sense for like private residences because mostly in trash bags, and if there's anything that's too large to go in there, let's say a couch or lawnmower or something like that, usually go beside the trash can, not inside of it, you know. So I can see why they wouldn't go digging through your particular trash, a private residence trash. But with public dumpsters, these big ones, you know, we got people out here all the time dumping stuff in our dumpsters in the back parking lot here.
Yeah, but the Trashosaurus Rex comes and gets it.
Right.
They don't even get to see. Most of the time, they don't even get to see in it.
Right.
And again, they back up, dump. Never even seen the again, from what I've seen, I don't. Maybe they do stand out beside it and watch it. But people that are trash people that are listening to the show have told us they don't get out of their rig. Mm-hmm. Only to open a gate to get to the dumpster is the only time they get out of their rigs. Mm-hmm.
I wonder what that day was like when the automated garbage trucks came through, like the day that they got those, or they were told they're getting those, what that day was like.
They probably hated it.
Why?
Because it eliminated jobs.
Oh, that's true. Well, I still see 2 or 3 people in those trucks.
For residential, but for Trashosaurus Rex that picks up the dumpster, it's one person.
Right.
Okay. Kelly Sarber, the president and CEO of Strategic Management Group, again said that we had a woman in New York City mistakenly toss her diamond ring into the trash. She then paid an undisclosed amount of money to have one of the massive barges that took waste from Manhattan to Fresh Kills landfill pulled out of service so the garbage collectors could dig through the thousands of tons of trash until they found it. And they did. Find her ring. Raccoons. My favorite thing about emptying people's trash is the raccoon surprise. You open the top of a can and stick your hand in to grab the bag, but instead grab a raccoon or 2. I saved a few of those cute little creatures.
Cute. Get out of here.
Yeah, no kidding.
Text came in. I also learned that people tip the trash man with cash and beer.
Nice.
I mean, cash, I've done that. I've tipped the trash people. The problem is they're not always the same people on every route.
Right.
And then, so I'm thinking them, what, for the one time they did? I don't know. But to tip beer, I don't know if they drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You're just assuming at that point, and then they take it anyway just because of the gesture. Oh, thanks.
Right,
I'm
and throw it in the trash.
alcoholic,
Yeah.
They're like the rich people who throw away new shoes.
Right.
Yeah. Brand new electronics. My friend's dad was a garbage man, and when he would pick up from places like Walmart, Best Buy, if they had TVs or PlayStations, any type of electronics, laptops in the garbages, he'd bring them home. He had friends that would fix them, and we'd get new electronics. Not bad.
I've known a lot of people that have done that.
Yeah.
Go dumpster diving and find stereos and TVs and stuff.
Yeah. Hospital biohazard waste. I ran a large trash hauling company in Georgia for 3 years. I can't tell you how many times hospitals threw their bio waste out to save on disposal fees. It got so bad the landfill ended up reporting them to big fines.
In this state, you can take a thing of syringes, and as long as it's in not a Sharps container, but a container that cannot be punctured, like a thing of laundry soap, you can just write Sharps and then throw it in the trash.
Huh. How about that?
Someone texted in, I work for Waste Management. It does happen often. Homeless and crackheads sleep in the cans that I pick up, and it is cray-cray. Yeah. So anyway, one man's trash isn't always another man's treasure.
Overwhelmingly, you gave us garbage. Thought we'd do a little fill-in-the-blank news. I'll read part of a headline, leave part of it out. If you can guess the blank part correctly, good on you. First one, Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll. Mattel introduces blank Barbie doll.
That's fun because they got so many different ones now. They've got prosthetic Barbie. They've got slightly overweight Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie.
Pregnant Barbie. I'm trying to think of the other Barbies that I've seen at the store. They got a handy-capable Barbie in a wheelchair.
Think it's a transgender Barbie?
It wouldn't surprise me. We'll go with trannies.
If you've seen the movie, you know Kate McKinnon is a breakout character in the movie. Weird Barbie, from the hit movie Barbie, is getting its own doll. The doll, inspired by Kate McKinnon's character, and is complete with a pink baby doll dress, short, spiky blonde hair, and pink and blue highlights, squiggly forehead line, and a circle around her eye. Announcing the doll on Instagram, Mattel wrote, "Barbie knows what it's like to play just a little too much." The Barbie movie has earned more than $1 billion at the global box office, making it the first film solely directed by a woman to ever cross that mark. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins. Funeral Home is offering blank-themed coffins.
I saw this and I thought, okay, come on now.
Well, I have no idea what you're talking about, so
In
good number of things. Marvel, Barbie, themed.
You nailed it. Nail in
Well,
the
that
coffin.
ruins the
What would
entire
you-
time limit that we have
What
left
would
here,
you want your coffin to look like?
but Not Barbie.
Well, neither would I, but that's what people are supposedly paying for. Barbie,
But you're not
pink.
Barbie fans.
I am.
Right.
I love Barbie. But
Sure. Do you have anything Barbie themed in your home?
No.
Okay, then
Absolutely
you're
not.
but that's the point, right?
Yeah.
Is that it would have to be something you're a diehard for.
Yeah.
Right. Mine be like cannabis themed or something like
Yeah.
that. And PlayStation.
Barbie Mania continues to sweep the world. One funeral home in El Salvador has boarded the Barbie bandwagon in a big way. The Alpha and Omega Funeral Home in Achapan is offering a pink Barbie-themed coffin for people who want to take their obsession with pop culture sensation to the afterlife. Each of the metal caskets is decorated with stars and features lining imprinted with pictures of Barbie. One of the spokespeople says, we have to jump on this trend, adding he's already sold 10 of the coffins. It's been a success. The coffin is the latest bizarre Barbie merchandise to be released in Latin America, which has also seen products such as Barbie lunchboxes, pink tacos and pastries, and even Barbie-themed airplanes. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank. New Jersey, only state where drivers can't blank.
Driver. Right. That's every state. Can't honk their horn. Okay. Yeah, noise ordinance.
Can't.
Can't get out of your car with a can of spray paint and spray paint the person behind you.
Can't pass other drivers. Can't
Okay.
use the express lane.
Okay. All those sound like good ideas.
New Jersey is the only state in the U.S. where drivers can't pump their own gas.
Huh.
It comes as lawmakers in Oregon voted to end the ban on self-serve gas, and Governor Tina Kotek signed off on it, ending the state's 72-year ban. Gas stations across New Jersey have pushed for lawmakers to lift the ban, which has been in effect since 1949. They say self-serve gas would allow them to lower the price.
Absolutely, yeah. I wonder why that's crazy. That's crazy. I thought, those days of somebody else having gas station attendants were pretty well over.
Yeah.
I haven't seen one in forever.
There's one here in town.
Is there?
Yeah, Reed's over
Oh,
on...
yeah, Reader's over there off of 15. Okay. But it costs you extra. And
Of course it does.
I don't like it. Yeah.
Blank are coming to Jeopardy. Blank are coming to Jeopardy. Nerds. In there.
Right. Average people. There you go. The bottom of the class is coming to Jeopardy.
Right. Reruns.
Oh, I could see that. Like on a game show network or something. Playing the old episodes of the Jeopardy.
Oh, yeah.
Like the 80s and stuff like that. So we still get our taste of Alex Trebek and that wonderful stash.
And the fro, man.
Oh, yeah.
When the new season of Jeopardy premieres, there'll be some changes as the writer strike continues. During an interview on the Inside Jeopardy podcast, that's a thing. Executive producer Michael Davies revealed that the show will use a combination of material from our WGA writers wrote before the strike, which is still in the data. Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS, and then what you want to say to 82945. See what Lindsay has for Balls to the Wall Sports.
The New York Knicks beat the Indiana Pacers 130-121 in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference semifinals. Jalen Brunson scored a team-high 29 points as the Knicks took a commanding 2-0 series lead. Game 3 will be played in Indianapolis on Friday. The action continues with a pair of Game 2 showdowns on the hardwood. In the East, the Boston Celtics will be aiming for a 2-0 series lead when they play host to the Cleveland Cavaliers tonight at 7 on ESPN. In the West, the Dallas Mavericks look to even up the series on the road against the Oklahoma City Thunder tonight at 8:30, also on ESPN.
The Knicks won without Julius Randle, Mitchell Robinson, Bojan Bogdanovic, and Jalen Brunson didn't even play for 1.5 quarters. And
they
still won. When Jalen wasn't playing, though, I mean, it did not look good. So that is obviously a pivotal point for them. But the Knicks are pretty good if they can keep it together.
Mm-hmm. Yesterday, police in Indianapolis announced an investigation into NBA player and citizen Patrick Beverley. A week ago, the Pacers ended the Milwaukee Bucks season by a final of 120-98. And in the final minutes of the game, Beverley was caught on camera tossing a ball into the stands and hitting a fan in the head. And on the Pat Bev podcast, Beverley addressed the issue, saying he was called a word he'd never been called before, but that his actions were still inexcusable, and he has to be better, and he will be better.
Something's going on with this cat. I think he's trying to just promote his podcast.
You think so, huh?
Ew.
What better way to get your name out there then?
It's bizarre. His behavior is bizarre. I believe him that someone called him something from the stands. It happens at games, sadly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe it's the first time.
That he's done it?
No, that he's been called something from the stands.
Right. Maybe the first time that he's acted out on it.
Or he actually heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. Nugget superstar Nikola Jokic has taken home his third career NBA Most Valuable Player award. The league announced yesterday that Jokic beat out Maverick star Luka Doncic and a dynamic Thunder guard, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, for the award. Jokic averaged 26.4 points, 12.4 rebounds, and 9 assists per game during the regular season. The six-time All-Star won back-to-back MVPs in 2021 and 22.
It's pretty crazy. It was pretty close. I think it was like 39% for him, 36% for Oklahoma City guy, and then there was a little bit more distance for Luka. But that's pretty close, man.
Yeah. Football fans can finally start marking our calendars next week for important games. The NFL announced yesterday that the 2024 schedule will be fully released on May 15th. One of the most anticipated games of the regular season is a Super Bowl 58 rematch between the defending champions, Kansas City Chiefs, and San Francisco 49ers at Levi Stadium. AFC and NFC title game rematches also take place when the Baltimore Ravens visit the Chiefs and the Detroit Lions square off against the Niners in San Francisco. The league already announced a Week 1 showdown in Brazil where the Philadelphia Eagles and Green Bay Packers will duel at Corinthians Arena on September 6th.
The only people that care about that rematch is the team that lost.
So far as like Niners and Chiefs or like really any of them for that fact?
Correct.
Right. I just want to watch football, man.
I know. I'm so excited for the schedule to get released.
I don't care. I just want to watch football.
I'm so excited to find out what games are at noon and which ones are nighttime games that I have to watch at 4 a.m.
Yeah. I looked and I was hoping that I could find like maybe, San Francisco will be playing in Dallas. That would be a fun.
You'll find
just
out.
Right down the road. So, yeah, I guess we'll find out next week if they're going to be there or in San Fran.
You've done the Memphis trip a couple times.
I have. And
so...
Yeah, I got no problem going down to Dallas, Jerryland, sporting Niner gear, man.
Sure, but I mean, you could go to Tennessee.
True that. I forgot. Yeah, they do play the Titans, don't they? So
yeah.
So I'm just saying, like, there'll be some interconference games too. So there may be some other options.
Yeah.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the Big Man Morning Show is next.
Percents. It's those people, right? So I'm with Lindsay. I don't think it ever stops.
For me, it's getting more fun as I get older. But there's a scene in the new season of Reservation Dogs, and in it, the aunt is talking to one of the kids who had run away to California and came back. And in the scene, she talks to the kid about like, hey, you're expecting this other shoe to drop that you get older and things just suddenly change. She's like, that never happens. You're still the same person you were at 4. I'm still the same person I was at 12. The difference between those times is I just have a ton more baggage.
Right.
And that baggage weighs you down. And I was like, damn, that's truth.
Florida man arrested after whipping out his willy in an Uber. This happened on January 27th, Saturday night, around 8:45. Jason Haggerty, 46 years old, was in Tampa, and his Uber driver drove him to St. Petersburg. While en route, Jason displayed and exposed his willy and proceeded to masturbate the duration of the ride until arriving home. The driver told police he speaks no English and was unable to tell the defendant to stop. Though he did use his phone to record the defendant masturbating. The driver said that Haggerty ejaculated inside the vehicle.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Wow. Got an extra cleaning fee for that one, right?
Yeah.
I think there's just the standard, right? I don't know. Isn't there? You're the only person that's ever drove rideshare, so there's a standard cleaning fee, right?
I guess. I mean, yeah, if somebody barfs in your car, I think it's like an extra $300, but there's a little difference between vomit and semen.
He did say that he had to personally clean up the fluid from his vehicle. An arrest affidavit noted that there was a third unknown person in the vehicle's back seat who spoke up for the victim.
That's what she said.
At the conclusion of the ride. Police believe alcohol played a role in the incident. Haggerty is a licensed nurse practitioner. He was arrested for exposure of sexual organs, a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail. During a court hearing, which happened this past Friday, the 2nd, a judge ordered Haggerty released from custody after posting his own bail. He puts the ew in Uber. He drove him to his $655,000 townhouse that evening.
I don't know why that's in there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because people with money should know better than to masturbate vigorously in the back of an Uber.
In the front. He was in the front seat.
People.
Oh, God.
Next to the
I didn't hear that part of the story.
I thought it was in the back seat.
Next to the driver.
Why didn't the driver just stop the car?
Why didn't he punch him in the balls?
No kidding.
And when you are an Uber driver, maybe some of the Uber drivers can answer this unless Skimpy went through this. If you have to charge a cleaning fee, do you 100% get all that money, or does Uber take a percentage of that too?
I don't know. I never had that problem. Nobody ever barfed in my car or masturbated to the point of completion either. So
I think the Uber driver gets all that money. And the only reason why I know this is because I worked with a guy that part-time Uber drove.
Okay.
And he used to say that he hoped that people would puke in his car because he would get extra money for it.
Well, but that doesn't mean it happened to him, right? That doesn't mean he got all the money.
Right.
And
he made it sound like he did.
Yeah, but why would you hope that? You can't get that smell out. Like
I know, it's so gross.
The amount of money you get is not even close to the cleaning up other people's vomit. Unless you go to school to be a nurse or somebody that, no way. That's not awesome.
Let's see here. Since the customer pays for the cleaning fee, the charges can appear as an adjustment to their final fare days. Uber will proactively transfer the money to the driver's account, but if the passenger makes a mess, they're paying to clean it up and will receive a new or updated charge after the ride. So it doesn't say, no, Uber drivers don't get all the cleaning fee.
That's so BS.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
So Uber takes a percentage off that too.
Uh-huh. They got to get all their money.
That's terrible.
The fee's based on nationwide averages of professional cleaning services. The fee is only paid when the mess is significant enough to prevent the rider from accepting further trips. I think semen counts. Don't sit in that seat. It's a little sticky.
Rugby player loses his favorite testicle in freak accident. Jack Johnson is the guy's name.
Making banana pancakes.
Right.
Not to be confused with the singer. He's a rugby star with the Newcastle Thunder over in England, and he was violently or he violently lost something extremely close to him in what he calls a freak accident during training. His favorite testicle, which is the left one, reportedly exploded after taking a direct shot from a knee. It had to be removed.
This isn't the first time this has happened in rugby.
No, that's
it happens a lot.
Sport,
It happens, and I guess they don't wear cups, or only pussies do. I guess I don't know. So I do jiu-jitsu, right? And I wear a cup, and I can tell it annoys some of the guys.
Why? Because when they kick you, it goes donk.
Yeah, or like when you're changing positions, that like there's a move where you put your knee into their stomach or on their sternum.
Yeah.
And that sometimes your foot will then hit their balls.
Yeah.
And I just don't want people's appendages on my balls.
Sure.
Sorry.
Makes sense.
But if I'm
Is
in
it
rugby,
ticklish or what?
but I gotta say, if there is a if there's a chance, if I did radio broadcasting and there was a chance I could rupture a testicle doing it, I'm wearing a cup to protect my balls.
Absolutely.
And these are ones of pros that this is happening to.
You have no use for yours right now at all whatsoever. I mean, the path has been blocked.
Yeah, I have had a vasectomy,
yeah,
yes.
the use for your boys is null right now.
Yeah.
But I get it.
No,
you kind of grown attached to them over the years.
It's the mental part.
Yeah.
Right.
If you have one less testicle, you're half a man.
That is true.
And you're going to feel that way. It's been documented.
Well, some men feel that if they have a vasectomy, they feel like less of a man.
I've never felt that.
Well,
I got two reminders.
Right. I'm not saying that you do, but there's some guys out there that.
I've never heard anybody say that. Maybe they do, but I've never heard a guy say that.
Well, fortunately for Jack Johnson, he kept his sense of humor. He says that the team season has been a testy one, and we've not been on the ball as we should have been. Yeah. Poor guy.
That's got to be painful.
I'm sure.
Imagine it does.
I'm sure.
Just getting grazed.
Oh, yeah.
Is a painful experience.
Yeah.
Let alone a testicular rupture.
Yeah.
Band name.
Yeah.
Hello, we are testicular rupture.
Yeah.
It is a good band name.
A guy sprained my ankle, I know.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I pull a muscle. I know. My rotator cuff. I can identify that. It's just painful. That's all I can identify.
That's it.
It's my testicle. It's painful. Full stop.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Nothing
Right?
more, nothing less.
Classic Eddie Murphy, man. Guys get hit in the balls if it's just you barely graze it. Guys will go, but did that just hit my? Ah!
Is that like when you get it twisted? When one gets twisted? Like,
Oh no,
that's a different thing.
That can happen while you're sleeping.
yeah, that happened to a kid in school, in elementary school.
Yeah.
And he had to have it removed, I think.
It typically, if it can't be, which it's weird to say this with you're using a child reference, is
Yeah.
it has to be massaged.
Oh.
And then, but a surgery sometimes is necessary to untie it.
Testicular torsion
Yeah.
occurs when the testicle rotates, twisting the spermatic cord that brings blood to the scrotum. Reduced blood flow causes sudden and often severe pain and swelling. Testicular torsion is most common between the ages 12 and 18, but can occur at any age, even.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. Get ready to rock the bank in a couple of hours from now at 9 o'clock. When you hear our nationwide keyword, be sure to enter it online at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. And that puts you in the running for $1,000. Spend it however you want. Pay some bills, buy some concert tickets, whatever. Maybe get a lawn guy. Who knows? But when you hear it, enter it online. You'll have 8 more chances throughout the day to win $1,000. Good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning. We want to toast our troops. If you're a veteran, we'd like to hook you up with a case of Shiner Bock and dinner for two at Mondo's Italian Restaurant in the heart of Brookside, simply for sharing the story of your service. If you're not a vet, you know a vet who could probably use something like this, all of you could do it at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. Just click on the contest page. You'll see it right there. Toast our troops. Fill it out. I get a hold of you. We talk to you on a Monday. Boom. All that's yours.
All right, let's see what Gimpy's got.
Been around the world, take my strong hand, get on the Gimp train, on the Gimp train. Be around the world, take my strong hand, get on the Gimp train, Gimp train.
Look at my little arms. I can't press the fire button and jump at the same time.
I was watching a video on the old Tiki-Taki the other day, and it was Mr. T. Mr. T was at a local church preaching. I pity the fool who don't take Jesus Christ as a personal Lord and Savior. But that got me to thinking. I'm looking at it. I'm watching. I was like, dude, that's a big get, I think, for a local church to have Mr. T come down and do a sermon at their church. And I got to thinking, he is a pop culture icon. Would you agree, yes or no?
Oh, 100%.
Absolutely. When I say pop culture icon, I think I should be able to say the name and a picture pops into your head immediately.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is where we all get to put our thinking tooks on and think of some pop culture icons. And we'll get to some other later on here, but like so far as like when I say pop culture icon besides Mr. T, what's the first thing that pops into your head? Corey, go.
Pop culture icon
Of all time.
all time?
We'll start with all time first.
pop culture, the Beatles.
Okay, fair enough. Lindsay?
Yeah. Well, when you said Mr. T, I instantly went to Hulk Hogan.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that both of those are fair. Michael Jackson, maybe even.
Yeah.
For sure.
Muhammad Ali could be another pop culture icon of all time. And when I say of all time, those are like, you can ask anybody from the age of, 80 to 18, and they would probably know exactly who you're talking about, right? Madonna, another pop culture icon.
Whitney Houston.
Whitney Houston, okay. These are just some of the ones of all time. Bruce Lee, definitely.
Sure.
Michael Jordan.
Muhammad Ali.
Of course.
Yeah. The Queen Elizabeth.
100%.
It says here Charlie Chaplin. Okay, I would buy that. I would buy that as a pop culture icon of all time. When I say Charlie Chaplin, you instantly get a picture in your head of who that is. The guy with a little Hitler mustache, bowler hat.
Marilyn Monroe.
Marilyn Monroe, yes, that also popped up. It says Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
And there were a few in here. I'm like, who the hell? Hibiscus. They have this guy listed as a pop culture icon. I've never heard of hibiscus
Me
except for
neither.
a
Me
flower. It says hibiscus was born in September of 1949. He was an actor known for The Crockett's in a 2002 movie. Elevator Girls in Bondage. That sounds like my kind of movie. And Luminous Procedures. I've never heard of this guy. So I wouldn't consider him a pop culture icon, but apparently somebody did. That's why he made it on this list.
Hibiscus is the name. Okay. An entertainer. Okay.
Do you know who I'm talking about? Because
I had to find
it. Okay.
I had to find it. An American actor, performance artist. He founded the psychedelic gay liberation theater known as the Cockettes. This feels like a leap.
Yeah, that's where I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, well, who the hell is this guy, and how is he a pop culture icon? Maybe in certain groups, for sure, but I'm not talking about certain groups, man. I'm talking like everybody should know who I'm talking about. If I say hibiscus, I bet you most everybody's thinking a flower of sorts.
This person died in 1982.
Yeah, no.
This has got to be some weird, because of the list or where you got the list.
Yeah. Another one, Mary Pickford. That's another one. I think it's just old timey.
Now, when you say though, you said from 18. Everyone should know from the age of 18 to 80.
Exactly.
But unfortunately, I don't think a lot of 18-year-olds would know some of the people. Like for me, I think James Dean or Audrey Hepburn, pop culture icon.
Of all time.
I think I might go with the idea they may not know some.
Right.
But Audrey Hepburn and James Dean are pretty massive
Yes.
I mean, there's T-shirts they sell at Hot Topic. I know that's silly.
Sure.
Right. Wearing a Nirvana shirt and never heard a song in their life.
I would argue Johnny Carson, they might not know.
Right. So that right there sprung me into another one of, okay, well, what are some more modern pop culture icons? Of course, we can simply say Michael Jackson. I think anybody from 18 to 80 would, that younger demographic would know who Michael Jackson is. Oprah is another one I think the younger generation would know.
David Beckham,
for sure. Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
Since we're going down that route. Britney Spears, Beyonce. And now I'm just targeting strictly the younger generation.
Jennifer
Anybody
Lopez.
from 18 to like maybe 25. J-Lo is another one. Shakira is another one. Lady Gaga, more than likely, I think.
Yeah.
I think so. Will Smith, Rihanna. Is another one that I think might you can target it down to that younger demographic.
Taylor Swift,
of course. This one here, because I just Googled, modern pop culture icons. They have Roger Federer on here.
Yeah.
And do you think like the younger demographic that like 18 to 25 would know who Roger Federer is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'd hope.
Just like if you don't, there are people that don't know who Tom Brady is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Maybe those people are like 6.
No, like there are people that don't follow football or sports at all.
Okay, but I still think his name's been in the news enough, not just as of late, but just within the past 10 years,
Right.
that they would know. They may not know or follow or whatever, but Tom Brady, quarterback for the Patriots.
Yeah, but Federer is a pretty big deal, dude.
Okay, and that sports world,
Yes.
sure.
Yeah, but I think people would know Tom Brady before they would know Federer.
I would agree with that.
Even if they don't follow football.
Yeah, there is no doubt that Tom Brady is a massive sports celebrity.
Right.
Federer is a worldwide sports celebrity.
I think that Brady would even be worldwide at this point.
They
Even
don't
though-
play football. Tennis plays everywhere.
Sure, I know that, but
And isn't Federer from another country?
But see, I don't know enough
So,
about Raj to tell you that, so.
I hear you. I'm not saying everybody knows, but football celebrity stars are big, but they're not massive like
Right.
other sports celebrities.
Right, like I could probably say Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, and that would land on a certain group of people, but maybe not the younger generation. Just real quick, some text that came in. We're talking about pop culture icons. Bob Barker. One person says number one fictional pop culture icon, and that's the fun thing about pop culture. They don't have to be real people. They could be characters. This person said Darth Vader. You say Darth Vader, that picture pops into your head. Freddie Mercury, Weird Al is another one that got texted in. Mr. Bean and Pee Wee Herman got texted in. This person shows their age. Leif Garrett and Scott Baio. Pop culture icons?
Yes.
Scott Baio, maybe.
Listen, I think they may have been.
Right.
But to still be.
Right.
Michael Jackson still is.
Right.
The Beatles still are.
Right. If I ask somebody of a younger age, hey, do you know who Scott Baio is? They probably would not know. Or Leif Garrett. But they would know The Rock, Taylor Swift. They would know Pee Wee Herman.
John Cena,
for sure, is another one. So, all right. So with all that, we go with of all times and then with modern ones, but that got me to thinking even some more. Now, you got to put yourself in your kids' shoes, and I'm talking to you two in particular because my kids are grown. My oldest is 21. My youngest is 17, going to be 18. Okay? So when we think of like what would kids these days think of pop culture icon would be?
Bluey.
That's the first thing I thought, too.
Really?
Yes, I'm thinking of Corbin's kids because they're small. They're like, what, 8 and 6 or something like that? So what would they consider pop culture icon? Bluey.
They don't even know what that means.
If they did, though.
If
but they did.
Famous people would be Ryan, Blippy.
Okay. Taylor Swift would
Taylor
still
Swift
fit
for
in that
sure.
category for sure.
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe,
No, my kids have no idea who that is.
Mine. I'm thinking mine.
And then that's the cool thing about this because, and I got to thinking of Lindsay's, is like Lindsay's kids are a little bit older, so they would be like outside of the Mickey Mouse and Bluey pop culture icons.
My 10-year-olds would definitely say Bluey.
Okay.
Hell, even Marcus would probably say Bluey.
It's a pretty great show.
Yes,
it is
'cause
good
he
for all
watches
ages.
it with them.
I found a thing, and these are most famous all-time sports personalities, and you can do it by all adults, millennials, Gen X, baby boomers, men or women.
Okay.
So by millennials, the number one most famous all-time sports personality, LeBron James.
Fair.
Tom Brady shows up on the list at 13. That's millennials, right?
Right.
And then Gen X, Muhammad Ali is number one, followed by Kobe Bryant.
Okay.
Tom Brady on that list comes in at 17.
All right, so pause right there because you're still on the Gen X part. Where does Jordan fall on that list?
Michael Jordan's 9th.
Okay. He's still top 10. I'll take that. Tiger Woods?
Tiger Woods is 6th.
I think Tiger Woods would go with a Gen X and a millennials category as well.
Yeah.
Who else we got in there on the Gen X?
Dennis Rodman.
Really?
Wow.
I mean, okay, because he was hot in our younger days, right?
A lot more TV, a lot more accessible than Jordan was. Jordan, of course, massive.
Yeah, but like Rodman really went out there because he was that
Hoard
weird
himself
guy.
out.
He sure
Absolutely,
did.
100%.
Put on a wedding dress and had a parade down, what was it, New York or some jive like that? I forget where
Media
he was
loved
at.
him.
Babe Ruth is number 3 for Gen X.
Wow.
Yeah. Number 1, most famous all-time sports personality for this stupid site, baby boomers, number 1, Babe Ruth.
Okay, that
Okay,
makes sense.
Then Tiger Woods, Shaquille O'Neal, Sugar Ray Robinson, Mickey Mantle. Arnold Palmer is on here. I'm looking for Tom Brady on this list. And Earnhardt Jr. comes in at 22. I'm looking. Pete Rose is 30.
Okay.
Yogi Berra, 35.
And these are just strictly sports.
Yes, all-time
icons.
Sports personalities amongst baby boomers.
Oh, baby boomers. Is Joe Montana on that list?
I wasn't looking for him because I was trying to catch where Tom Brady shows up.
I don't know if Tom Brady would show up on that list of baby boomers.
Yeah, of course. I mean, Tiger Woods is on it.
Yeah, okay. I'm
Joe
sure
Namath is 12th.
See, and that makes more sense. We're talking a lot of older names. Arnold
Evil
Palmer,
Knievel.
Yeah.
Lance
Armstrong?
Yeah.
Okay.
Senior is on here. Dale Earnhardt Sr. Montana was 37. Tom Brady, 38.
Wow. Okay. So, as I'm thinking about this, Lindsay, you look like you want to say something.
SpongeBob.
Oh, you're going back. Okay.
Okay, as like, pop culture icons for a very young generation, i.e. your kids, Corbin's kids.
Yes.
Okay.
So, most famous tennis players of all adults, 1 and 2, pretty much the same because they're sisters. The Williams sisters, right?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Serena, number 1, of course. Then Maria Sharapova, number 3.
Yeah.
Roger Federer, number 4.
Okay.
Millennials, Federer's 3. The Williams sisters, 1 and 2. Williams sisters, 1 and 2 for Gen X. Federer, number 4. Baby boomers.
Andre Agassi.
The Williams sisters, Federer, number 4.
Had a huge crush on him.
It's that hair. That's what it was.
Lack thereof.
Lack thereof.
Right. He bald now.
Yeah.
He bald now.
He was
but-
bald then.
Was he? I thought he had locks, man.
No.
He's just trying to anyway. So, like, I was thinking, I'm like, all right, well, what would be, pop culture icons for these younger ones? Lindsay's kids' age, Corbin's kids' age. Would it be Cardi B? Would you consider Cardi B a
No.
pop culture icon of this young generation?
No.
Why not?
I don't think they were listening to her so much. I think
Okay.
more so of Mr. Beast.
But it's
YouTube.
Okay. I don't
YouTubers.
think it's so much like, you have to listen to them or you don't have to watch their videos. You just, again, I give you a name and a picture pops into your head. Kim Kardashian.
Yeah.
I think would fit in that category of like pop culture icons for a super young generation.
I think Mr. Beast is. I think she's right. But also Cardi B.
Right.
Thinking more Justin Bieber.
No. I mean, yes, but no.
Okay.
There's this thing about musicians, and they fall into black holes. This is just some behind-the-scenes lingo. Artists fall into black holes, and then they have to reemerge out of the black hole. Lady Gaga's in that right now. She's in a black hole. Like, is she popular? We don't know. Bieber, is he talented? It isn't about talent.
Right. It's like, do you know them?
Right.
Like, if I ask Lindsay's kids, any one of them, hey, do you know who X person is? They should be able to say yes. Like, it's got on this list here, Tiger King. Tiger King. If I asked your kids, Lindsay, who the Tiger King is, would they be able to tell me?
Maybe, right?
Maybe.
But I don't. Ooh. I don't know if they would.
Like use Justin Bieber again. Maybe her kids would know who he is, the oldest for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe, but he would for sure know who Cardi B is.
Absolutely. Megan Thee Stallion.
Yeah, know the name.
Yeah.
May not know the music.
Yeah.
But know them go. Like if you go Justin Bieber, like, yeah. Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion, they go, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they've automatically got that
They've
picture.
heard it of them.
Got that picture in their head. It was a fun little rabbit hole that I went down of pop culture icons and just like how wide they spread from. Hell, I didn't even know that list like Corbin had for the sports people existed. You know, different generations have their different pop culture icons. And of course, there's those ones that last forever. The Muhammad Ali's, the Babe Ruths of time. Anyway, good little fun rabbit hole to go down.
Good stuff.
Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the Gimp train, on the Gimp train. Around the world, take my strong hand, get on the Gimp train, Gimp train.
Look at my little arms. I can't press the fire button and jump at the same time.
Kingdom of
Into the prize.
Yeah.
Again, I'm just real grateful that this Hilton Honors team did the best they could, and we'll make sure part of the Ford Truck Series continues. So I'd like to give it to my second place because second isn't winning. So
Twisted Tea is a great beer fridge for guests.
Right. Well, congratulations, Lindsay. You got yourself some old mushed potatoes and some warm Twisted Tea for losing on Day Spa or Dispensary.
2 Subway employees shot over too much mayo.
okay, I was like sandwich or
Yes.
tunnel.
In Atlanta, police responded to a shooting at a Subway location inside of a Circle K. Reportedly, a customer became irate when too much mayonnaise was squirted onto his sandwich. That's when he allegedly opened fire, hitting 2 female employees, one of which was fatally wounded, and the other is in serious condition. The store's owner says a third employee fired back at the unnamed gunman.
What?
Yeah, but he
A
missed.
third employee. That means the employee had a gun.
Yeah.
Well, by God, we got to save them sandwiches somehow, Corbin.
Yeah. The suspect is in custody. Police said that the woman was 26 years old. A 24-year-old employee was shot in front of her 5-year-old son. She's the one that's in critical condition. The woman was hit twice after she pushed her son out of the way under the counter to keep him from being hurt. The co-owner of the Subway said that a third worker had definitely shot at the gunman. He missed, but at least he put up a little fight, he said. Atlanta police officer said that this was a case of someone with a gun who didn't know how to resolve conflict without resorting to violence. They did not release the identity of the worker who was killed because they were still waiting for family members to be informed, but said both of the employees were young women who had just started at the location about 3 weeks ago. And the customer had been in the Subway location before without ever having an incident. The interim chief of police said so far arguments are the majority cause of homicides this year in Atlanta.
There's a lot going on in this story.
Boy, I tell you.
Your 5-year-old kid was there?
Yeah.
That's what I thought was bizarre. Okay, I get it. You got to go to work and can't find a babysitter, but
Or can't afford one?
Or I
Can't
was
afford
thinking
one.
too, or maybe she was going to get off in like 20 minutes and, maybe the dad dropped the child off. And,
No, that's also not okay.
yeah, I know.
It's a weird thing for the 5-year-old to be there. 2, another employee had a gun on him.
Yeah.
The other thing too with Subways, they're everywhere.
right.
There was a time that I believe there were more Subways than McDonald's and Starbucks and Dunkin' Donuts and all that. They were the most widely dispersed chain.
Yeah, especially for sub sandwiches. Faux show. They were like, they had the corner market there. But then some other places started
I think they're
out.
still pretty high up on the list.
You think so?
Absolutely. You go anywhere, there's a Subway.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Anywhere.
They've got 'em inside,
They're
gas
so
stations
easy.
and stuff.
It's not like a Chick-fil-A, right? Like you go, there are towns that just don't have Chick-fil-A's. I would bet almost every town has a Subway sandwich shop.
And if you're putting too much mayonnaise on mine, I'm giving you a tip. If I don't have to ask for it.
Here's the deal. You can tell them to stop anytime because
Yeah.
you're sitting there watching them make your sandwich. You see how much of everything that they put on. You could have been like, whoa, dial it back on the mayonnaise,
Yeah.
man.
Or you can say light mayo. Or
Right, but what's light mayo?
light on the mayo.
Yeah, but how much is
so-
light? Your light
a
and
little
my light are
squirt.
not the same.
Yeah.
And I'm the artist here.
All right. These are the most
True.
popular sandwich chains in America. Okay? This is what it says. Blimpie? Have you ever had a Blimpie?
Yeah.
I have, but it's not most popular.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most locations,
Okay.
right?
Okay.
Because I can name my favorite sandwich shop, but it's not everywhere.
Right.
And I would wager the majority of people in this town have never eaten at it, right? So you can't go with most popular. You have to have which sandwich shop has the most locations.
Largest sandwich chain in the U.S. Oh, here we go. Fun. This is as of 2020, so it's a couple of years old. But it says largest sandwich chain. So does that quantify?
I think so, yeah.
As it could be.
Sure.
Okay. Continue to the site. Subway comes in at number 6.
Oh.
It has their rankings on
What's
here.
number one?
I got to scroll down. It doesn't have the number 1 listed on the quick list.
Well, what's number 5?
Listen, here's how it goes. 6, 18, 34, 46, 58, 63, 69, 89, 99, 100. There's nothing really. It says
Okay,
rank in
okay,
there.
okay. So, all right. So the list you're looking at, those are sandwich ones on the list. So the number 1 sandwich shop is Subway, but it comes on number 6 of all, like probably fast food.
Probably so. U.S. sales and U.S. units. Subway did 10,000. This is the 2019 numbers. Did $10,000 in 2019 with 23,801 units. So is that sandwiches sold?
Or locations. Here's the thing: is when you go. There's been many times I haven't said light mustard or whatever, but sometimes I get more and sometimes I get less. There's no consistency with the.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of that's on the sandwich maker, sandwich artist, whatever you want.
I am confident that after her 2 weeks of working there, she had diligent training.
She sat back there and watched the videos, man, before she started the job.
There's no video.
There's no orientation videos.
Watch Spider. Make sure you powder your balls. We're changing. It's not patio parties. It's now powder your balls parties.
I like that. Are you going to bring the powder? Are you going to be doing the powdering? Who's powdering?
Every patio party
Powder
since the
before you
age of time.
Right.
Every single one.
Powder them up.
Absolutely.
Do you just like put a pile on like the counter and just kind of dip like you would your donuts and your coffee?
No.
Or?
So what I do is I put it in my hand, right? And then I waddle into the carpeted area in the closet, right?
Okay.
And then I have to it's kind of like a squat.
Okay.
And then I do the sides.
Okay.
And then I go underneath.
Okay. No padding at all whatsoever. Just kind of.
No padding.
Okay.
It's not padding. It's not playtime.
Well, what you do in your carpeted part of your closet is your business.
And then whatever's left
Is it a
goes
rub?
in my armpits.
Okay. Makes sense.
If it's not a pad, is it a rub down?
That's what I said. I said rub. Yeah, on
Right,
each side. Yeah.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah. What are you, a patter?
I'm not a patter. I'm not even a powder.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer.
Dude.
I'm a sprayer. I got the talc spray, man.
No. Dude, going with powder is a game changer.
You say that now, but on a steamy, balmy day like it has been, you get that cold spray on your boys.
That's temporary relief.
Yeah.
I'm talking long lasting.
Yeah, but I mean, it has the powder in it, and it does last a while. But that initial shock of the freezing cold air blasting in my balls feels great. Don't knock it till you try
Well, what is
it.
the movement is what I'm worried about.
What, do you think it's going to blast them off like a sand
Yes,
blaster?
I know. I don't want a cold burn. Airport runway worker killed after being sucked into the airplane engine.
Yikes.
Federal officials are investigating the weekend death of a grounds worker at the Alabama airport. NTSB said the worker at Montgomery Regional Airport was killed after he was sucked into the engine of an airplane. It happened Saturday afternoon, according to the NTSB. The American Airlines plane had just arrived from DFW when a ground support personnel was ingested into the engine. The unidentified worker was employed. Let's play a game. We're going to play Schnipp Schnapp Schnurr, current record.
Well, Lindsay and I are tied with 7. You have 3.
Last week's winner?
That'd be you.
So, Lindsay and Gimpy at 918-460-KMOD. We're going to play for a pair of tickets to see Hardy. Hardy is going to be at the Walmart Amphitheater on Thursday, May 30th. Tickets available, amptickets.com. 918-460-KMOD. Call up, decide who's going to be your clue giver. Good morning, you're on the air. What is your name?
It's your boy J-Rock.
Who do you want to give clues, sir? Lindsay or Gimpy?
Let's go Gimpy.
Come on.
All right, 60 seconds are on the clock. Timer starts after the first clue. You ready, sir?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
All right, J-Rock. Oh, this is the capital of France.
Paris.
Yep. This is the movie with Elsa. It's also what happens to make ice.
Frozen?
Yep. This is a type of window cleaner. It's blue.
Windex.
Yes. All right, it's a game that you play on your phone. Candy blank.
Crush.
Yes. This is a delicious meal made out of pig. You serve it at Easter or Christmas.
Ham.
Yep. When there's water in the air and it's hot as balls outside, you would say it's very what outside?
Humid.
Yes.
Humid.
Yes. If you're jogging or you're running on a treadmill, you are working on your blank.
Cardio.
Yes. Blank sucks. It's a charity here in town. Lung, throat, stomach.
Cancer.
Yep. Well, this is a type of fruit that has fuzz on it.
Peach.
Yes. This is a cucumber that's stuck in...
Time.
Pickle.
9 is what we got. 9 is pretty good, J-Rock. Hang on the line, okay?
Yes, sir.
Good morning. You're on the air. What is your name?
Aaron.
Aaron, how are you, friend?
Good. How are you guys?
Good. You and Lindsay have to beat 9. Are you ready?
Yes.
Here we go.
Name of a band. Also, a hammer is this. A wrench is this.
Tool.
Yes. Blank Star, drummer for the Beatles.
Oh man.
Drum.
I don't know Beatles very well.
Okay. Okay, then pass.
Pass.
If the blank don't fit, you must acquit.
Shoe.
If you're okay, you wear these on your hands in the cold.
Gloves.
Yeah.
Mittens.
A girl is a what? The proper name for gender.
Female.
Uh-huh. Sweet and blank.
Sour.
Other one. Pepper and...
Salty.
Yes, uh-huh. You use this in golf when you are really close to the hole.
Putter.
Yes, uh-huh. If you have a test, you want to blank for it.
Study.
Yes, uh-huh.
Time. Man, it was... That pass really hurt you. I'm so sorry, man. Thanks for playing, brother. All right. Congratulations, man. You're getting those tickets to see Hardy over at the Walmart Amphitheater on May 30th, sir. Hang on the line so we can get your info, okay?
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a great day.
You too, man. All right, the one that at the very end for him?
Yeah. Dill, bread and butter, chips are good. But dill is probably the most popular of these. Cucumbers are also these.
Yeah.
People eat them on their burgers or...
A briny liquid. Vegetables are put in, set for a time to make them the flavor profile change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dill is good. All those clues were great.
Just didn't have enough time to get the pickle in.
Yeah.
What she said. And then this is what she ended on.
Dude, you
Or she
could-
passed on.
Yeah, if you don't know the drummer for the Beatles besides Pete Best, you're probably not going to get this.
Yeah.
The only way I could say it is you do this with a doorbell, or it's a type of camera on your doorbell, or you put it on your finger, right? trying to get him to say ring, and then it's the letter that comes before P.
Yeah, this one and your clue about OJ are good examples of what Gimpy's segment was about.
Pop culture stuff.
Pop culture generations are different across the board. If you don't know, even if you said blank Starr, the drummer for the Beatles, right?
Yeah.
If you don't know Ringo Starr.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. If the shoe don't fit, you must have quit.
All right, the record now.
That moves me to the lead with 8, keeps Lindsay with 7, keeps you with 3.
Tulsa's morning show, the Big Mad Morning Show.
Feel better?
Yeah, is he
About
going to
myself.
send her on a spa day? I know. I think he needs to go to her and definitely, like, he needs to know from her what she expects from him.
I don't think.
What he wants her to
Come
do.
on, Lindsay. Come on, Lindsay.
Taking
on,
her-
Lindsay.
What?
What he expects of her.
What
Don't
she
have sex
wants
with
him
other
to do.
people.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's what the expectation is.
Absolutely. But he's done it. He's done the damage.
Yeah, so we're
He's
talking about a
done the
second
damage.
chance.
Exactly.
So what do we're just talking about crazy ideas.
Yep.
Commit to
Yeah.
an idea, Lindsay.
Yeah. So going on vacation, sure, it's nice, but now he gets to go on a vacation too. Like, it's almost like, I don't know if I want to go on a vacation with you right now.
Hall pass. You want a crazy idea, give her a hall pass.
There,
Give
yeah.
her an opportunity to even Stevens this thing.
Okay.
Mhm. And she doesn't have to tell him about it. Ever.
Well, no, she knows about his, so I feel like it has
It's
to be
only
even.
fair, yeah.
If it's even, it's even.
No.
Why do you not get to tell anybody?
Maybe she doesn't even take him up on it. He'll never know.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Let him wonder. Did she or didn't she?
Yeah. Usually works.
Hey, usually does.
Yeah.
Withholding information.
Yeah. People have already texted in what my feelings are on this. To me, it's quite clear. But they are asking.
Yeah.
Right? They are going, what's some scenario? What's a scenario? What is a possibility? Brandon is on. Hey, Brandon, how are you?
Good, how are y'all?
Good. What do you think?
From a person who's been cheated on multiple times, I say the damage has already been done. But if he wants to win over, they've been married 10 years. Renew your vows. Make new vows. Tell her you're committed to her and only her. You know, just go and renew your vows. That might win her over. You never know.
Right, a mulligan.
Right.
Yeah, pull a mulligan.
Yeah.
Pull that mulligan card. Pull it all day long.
You said that you've been cheated on multiple times, Brandon. Would that have worked with you?
No, because I stayed with someone who cheated on me 9 times.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Are you
But
blind? Are you blind?
Well, I lived 7.5 hours away from my family at the time, so I was kind of forced just to stick around because I was in a state I didn't know. I wasn't from that state, so I stuck around and rode out the roller coaster.
What was her excuse on the 7th time?
His excuse was I was away from the house for 2 weeks on work, and he got lonely.
So this is your boyfriend?
Yeah, it was my ex.
Yeah.
But when he said that, I was like, yeah, I'm done. I took the call around midnight when he was drunk, took the call, and I left and never looked back.
Had to rip that Band-Aid, huh?
I just left. I was done.
Wait, that was the 7th time.
Yeah. And then
I you
took the
came
call
back.
Took the call back because I was like, oh, maybe you changed. And the 9th time was finally the draw.
For him I'm just being really honest. Him cheating 9 times, do you blame him or yourself?
I blame myself for being blinded by love.
But it wasn't.
Stupidity.
No, it wasn't, though.
No. It was not my fault, but I mean, I kept going back.
No, it's your fault. It wasn't love.
It was my own stupidity, trying to think I can change someone.
Right, hope. Well, it was hope. You were hoping. You were hoping he'd look
yeah.
here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right on, man. Brandon, have a great day, man.
You too.
All right, see you later.
These texts are good.
Scott is on. Hey, Scott, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good, buddy. What do you think?
You know, let's be real. I love some of the comments, and you guys especially, but let's be real. You're not going to be able to give her a hall pass because we as men are never going to forget that. We're never going to stop dwelling on it. And, we're going to be the demise of that at that point. I think there's only one way to really do it. Either walk away, because you can't tell me guilt took over after. You were enjoying it then. You went out for that purpose to go meet somebody. So either open this up to an open relationship, ask her, hey, do you want an open relationship, or walk away now, brother, because you lost it.
Let me ask you, Scott, what would be an argument they would have had that would have not justified him cheating, but going out and being completely reckless? Like, what's something?
Well, she would have had to cheat. I mean, the only way I'm ever going to cheat is she walks to me and says she just cheated. I'm walking out. I'm going to get me some, and I'm done with this relationship.
But then, you're not
let's
really
be real
cheating
as
at
men.
that point, are you, Scott? You're
not. Until that divorce, I get it. But there's no hall pass or dinner or vacation. I agree with her vacation. That means she's not going to forget that. I don't care if 5 years down the road, that's going to be in every argument you have.
Mm-hmm.
So you might as well either walk away or open this thing up and let's become swingers.
Just walk up to her with a pineapple in hand.
Right on, man.
Upside down it, baby.
All right, Scott, have a great day, friend.
You too, guys.
All right, see you later.
Got a great idea to fix the situation.
I hear that, like, if she cheats, I'm going out right and cheating, and cheating right away. It's going to be like the movie Hall Pass. I'm going to Applebee's and having wings and going to bed at 9. Like,
yeah.
Right, because that's our routine now.
No,
that's where we're at.
No, I don't have the game. Like, what are you talking about? It's not like I'm turning down women every time I go out the door.
You go to the bar, you wait till about, 1:45-ish.
Oh.
You find the biggest woman with the least amount of teeth in her face, and you say, you're coming with me.
I got to be honest. If I'm cheating as revenge, it ain't just going to be on crumbs. Listener email, I'm about to get divorced from my wife of 10 years
Homeless
because
people eat out of garbage cans, Corbin.
I made a stupid mistake and had a one-night stand. We got in an argument. I left, went to the bar, and slept with some woman. Almost immediately, the guilt took over me. She's told me it's over. But I have to try. What can I do to get her or to give our marriage a second chance? Lindsay.
Okay, so he already did the most awful thing he could have done, and that was cheat. But he was honest. So he's got that going for him at least. And if he wants to work things out, he's going to have to take the blame and take whatever is coming to him. If she is pissed, let her be pissed and just take it. Take the anger and just wait it out and see what she wants to do. The ball is absolutely 100% in her court. So whatever she wants, she gets at this point. If you want to stay in this marriage. If she wants to go through therapy, then you guys are going to go to counseling together. If she wants just you to go to counseling, then you're going to have to go to counseling. Because the ball is absolutely 100% in her court.
Gimpy.
Yeah, man, there's really nothing you can do. Honestly, just sit back and take your lumps as they are. All right. If she wants it to work, she'll figure it out. She's gonna be mad AF for a long time, and you're gonna have to deal with it. You're gonna have to deal with being boring. There's not gonna be any time going out with the boys or going out and doing whatevs, And if you can't handle that, then you need to walk away. You need to realize, well, I effed this one up. I'm just going to go ahead and take my ball, and I'm going to go home, and then I'll come back and play the game another day. You know what I'm saying? It's just there's nothing really you can do. Just let time pass it on by. That's it.
I'm sorry. I have no gimmick for you that will work. You tell her you want it to work. You made a giant mistake, and you're willing to work through it. She doesn't hear that. You got your answer. It's pretty black and white, man.
Yeah.
You have to eat your S sandwich. And when you go on and date in the future and be asked what happened with your marriage, you got to be honest. You est the bed royally. And so either you tell her what you want and hope she appeases you, but why beg someone to be with you? The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you stop at 6, 8, get out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is, too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why?
Because you're nosy. And then what you want to say to 82945. Well, let's see what Gimpy has in his 4x4. I don't know why it's not playing. I don't know why it's not playing. Try again.
All right. It says here potentially toxic chemicals found in vehicles. A study out of Duke University and the Green Science Policy Institute found that the air inside some vehicles made since 2015 is polluted with flame retardants, some potentially neurotoxic and carcinogenic. The levels were higher in the summer compared to the winter months. The researchers recommend ventilating vehicles, particularly in the summer, and parking in the shade if possible. Interesting. Boeing whistleblower pressured to hide issues. Dun, dun, dun. Santiago Paredes. I'm pretty sure that's not how you pronounce it, but that's how we're going. He worked as an inspector at the Boeing parts manufacturer for over a decade. Now, he says that higher-ups would be upset when he found defects and would pressure him to stay silent. He claims his bosses, quote, just wanted the product shipped out and were, quote, weren't focused on the consequences of shipping bad fuselages. His comments come after 2 Boeing whistleblowers died unexpectedly in the past 3 months. Better watch out, Santiago.
Yeah, right.
You could be next.
I think the thing with like that, I'm not saying Boeing didn't do that.
Right.
I'm also not saying they did that. Just because an employee says that does not make that true.
Right.
And how many times have we ever worked anywhere and a mistake has been made and they're like, just fix it, don't say anything.
Right. Get it out.
That could be considered pressure to not say anything.
Very well could be.
So it's not like they were like firing him because he found something out or moving. If that's a different optic.
Well, we'll see if Santiago shows up dead in the next couple of days with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the back of the head.
Yeah.
What else we got here? The majority of Americans are not paying attention to the Trump hush money trial. A survey from PBS, NPR, and Marist shows that 55% say that they're not following the case closely or at all. 45% say they're paying some or a lot of attention to the president's trial. And then lastly here, U-Haul offers free storage for 30 days after tornadoes hit northeast Oklahoma. The U-Haul company of Tulsa president says that they're available to help. U-Box containers can be delivered and picked up from residential locations as part of the disaster relief program. The 30-day free offer applies to new self-storage and U-Box rentals based on availability. So
it's not a bad move. That's pretty smart.
No, exactly.
What they're not telling you is you got to have a credit card put down and sign your name, and if you don't pick it up 30 days, we'll start charging you.
Yep. But hey, at least it's something.
No, it's a smart move on their part to offer, hey, this is what we're there for.
Yeah.
The Patriots are still searching for a top front office executive. New England completed a pair of interviews for its executive vice president of player personnel vacancy. Former Carolina Panthers director of player negotiations and salary cap manager Samir Suleiman and Philadelphia Eagles director of scouting Brandon Hunt each interviewed on Wednesday. Bills director of player personnel Terrence Gray, former Cardinals vice president of player personnel Quentin Harris, and Bengals senior personnel executive Trey Brown all declined interview requests with the Patriots. Current director of scouting Elliott Wolf remains the favorite to land the job. Former Shohei Ohtani interpreter Pai Mizrahi has agreed to enter guilty pleas on 2 federal charges after getting busted and accused of stealing $17 million from the Dodgers star pitcher. Mizrahi has agreed to own up to charges of felony bank fraud and submitting a false tax return. He was accused of using that stolen cash to pay off debts to an illegal sportsbook operation. A date for sentencing has yet to be set, but he is potentially facing 33 years behind bars and a fine of up to $1.25 million, presumably of his own money, but a reduced sentence is expected in exchange for the guilty pleas.
I mean, even if that judgment happens, it's not like they're going to get all that money, and I doubt he would serve all that time. Nonviolent crime.
Yeah.
Right.
The Rangers are bringing a member of last year's World Series championship squad back into the fold. Texas reacquired outfielder Robbie Grossman in a trade with the Chicago White Sox. The Rangers are sending minor league right-hander Anthony Huopi Tui Uno Toe back. Yeah, to the Southsiders in exchange for the switch-hitting journeyman. Grossman was batting a 211 with 4 RBIs in 25 games with the White Sox. In other news, starting pitcher Dane Dunning was put on the 15-day injured list due to a strained rotator cuff, while left-handed pitcher Colton Ingram was designated for assignment. And one of the Rays' key rotation pieces has landed on the injured list. Tampa Bay starting pitcher Ryan Pepio was placed on the 15-day injured list Wednesday due to a lower left leg bruise. He was hit by a scorching comebacker in the Rays game against the New York Mets on Sunday. Pepio has been solid this season, posting a 3.68 ERA in 7 starts. In a corresponding move, Tampa Bay activated righty Taj Bradley off the injured list. And the Giants are going to be without a member of their lineup for the foreseeable future. San Francisco is placing designated hitter Jorge Soler on the 10-day injured list due to a right shoulder strain. Soler had missed the past 3 games due to the injury. He was batting .202 with 5 home runs and 8 RBIs through 34 games. The 32-year-old signed a 3-year, $42 million deal with the team this past offseason, and the Giants recalled outfielder Elliot Ramos from AAA Sacramento in a corresponding move. And yesterday, Brittany Griner's book, Coming Home, hit stores and online retailers, telling the story of her 10-month imprisonment in Russia. In a recent interview, Griner talked about what she went through, and some of the stories elaborated on in her book. And when she was first taken into captivity, a guard tried to take her to the men's tank, but Brittany said no, and her guard agreed. She now thinks they were just messing with her with a mind game, and all she had in her cell was a toothbrush, some toothpaste, and some toilet paper. And when the TP ran out, she says she used a shirt ripped into different pieces. And most of the time, Griner had cellmates, both of whom turned out to be bad spies who created diaries of what Griner would do, how she'd interact with them, or what she'd talk about when they were required to share with guards. Some guards would ask her for her autograph while she was still locked in her cell, which oddly enough made her feel normal, she says. She said the biggest thing that pissed her off while she was there was being hit on and being hit with accusations of being an un-American by some back home. Griner says that if she hated America, why would she live there? She also points out that her father fought in Vietnam and then went into law enforcement, and her original life plan before basketball was to follow in her footsteps.
To me, that was fascinating about some of the stuff that she said, and you hit on it, is that they give them a toothbrush and toilet paper. You want to torture somebody and make somebody really uncomfortable?
Yeah.
No toilet paper, no toothbrush.
Man, fuzzy teeth and itchy butts all day long. Gross.
You'll roll over
kidding.
pretty fast. Just for some toilet paper, man.
Right.
Just for some toilet.
I'll tell you what you want. Just give me one square.
Menace to society. Come on, man. Just some toilet paper.
Right. Ooh.
And that's your Balls to the Wall Sports. I'm Lindsay on 97.5 KMOD.
Balls to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tolls.
Okay, so what is your pick going to be?
Probably a. What's the one? What are the We call him. My husband calls it a Harry Truman, and that's not what its real name. We see.
Dropping bombs?
Huh?
Is it just dropping bombs everywhere it
No,
flies?
it's the. Now I can't even think of the real name of it. You see him all a blue herring. Is that what it is?
Blue herring.
What? Isn't that a fish?
See him all the time on the.
So it's the ones you see in the ponds, and they got the long
Yes,
legs and stuff
yes.
like that. Yeah.
Piranha.
The heron, yes.
Great blue heron.
Yes.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity.
Gimpy?
Can I say big?
Huh?
Big?
Bird.
Big bird. Okay.
Oh.
If we're going like a legit bird,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the flamingo.
Yeah, that's where I was going.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want to see if it tastes like shrimp.
Yeah. Flamingo or
That's
roadrunner.
true.
One of the two.
Yeah, why not? That sounds fine. Penguin. I'm down for some penguin.
Oh, yeah. Some fricasseed penguin.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about it getting, it's cold. It's right there on the ice.
Right.
Who doesn't? Some good penguin. Yum. I'm going to name some dishes. You give me a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being awesome,
Okay.
and 0 being pass.
Okay.
Okay? Lindsay, you're in on this too.
Okay.
10 being
Let's
awesome,
start
0
let's
being
start
nothing.
basic, right?
Yeah.
Spaghetti. Lindsay?
Oh, 10.
Okay. Gimpy.
3.
Okay. Fettuccine Alfredo. You can
10.
You can say 10.
Could I say 11?
Gimpy?
Oh.
What kind? Is it seafood or is it chicken?
This is just the cheese. This is
Just
no
the
chicken,
sauce
no
and noodles?
Yeah.
0.
Okay. Manicotti. So manicotti, for those who don't know, it's a ricotta. Mostly the time it's a ricotta-based filled noodle.
Big ol' honkin' noodle, too.
It's a 6 for me.
Okay.
That's a 0 for me, dog.
Okay. Stuffed shells.
6.
Okay. Gimpy.
2. 2, if that. I'm struggling for a 2, bro.
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah.
Lasagna.
3.
Wow. Gimpy.
Who's making it?
Whoever your favorites is.
It's even my ma's lasagna. That would rank like a 2 or 3 for me, and that's because it's mom's. So lasagna, just in general,
Yeah.
that's a 1.
Chicken Parmesan. Chicken Parmigiana.
9.
Never had it.
What?
Crazy.
It feels crazy.
Yeah. So that's going to be a 0 for me, dog.
Oh my God, dude! Chicken. Oh my gosh.
Is it the eggplant and the?
Nope.
That one's good too.
That's different.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right. Chicken piccata. Chicken piccata is the lemon chicken. I know. It's lemon.
Yeah, 7.
That's 0.
Oh my God.
Like we went to that fancy Italian place for the boss. What was that, last week? His lunch or whatever. And I'm looking at the menu. I was like,
Mondo's, great Italian restaurant.
Mondo's, I respect them and what they do. It's just Italian is not for me. I'm like, I don't know what to get. Everything on the menu had either mushrooms or lemon on it. And I was just like, what's this stuff with the shrimp? Sounds good. I'll eat the shrimp over the noodles, which is exactly what I did.
I mean, I wanted to see. All right, so let's just go with a couple things here because I'm trying to find fried mozzarella.
I mean, that's just deep
10.
fried cheese. But even then, I want to give it like a 4.
Calamari.
10.
Calamari. I'll go ahead and give that like maybe a 6 or something because I've had calamari at other places that's not Italian food.
Bruschetta or bruschetta.
10.
Was that the fancy bread?
It's toast. Most of the time, it's toasted little pieces of bread with tomatoes and olive oil and balsamic and basil. And stuff.
The extremely stale bread that you chip a tooth on every time you eat it. That's a 0.
Let's see. Let's get spaghetti and meatball ravioli.
Lindsay?
6.
Only if it's Chef Boyardee. Which actually his name was Chef Boyardee, but we had to Americanize it.
Yeah. Give me your rating, Mr. Wikipedia.
1.
Tortellini.
4.
2.
Peppers and onions.
That's it? Like no sausage to put them on?
It's
or
sausage,
anything?
peppers, and onions. It's typically...
Like a
4.
bun, you know? Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess with the sausage, peppers, and onions, I give it like a 3, 4, maybe even.
Fettuccine carbonara.
What's the carbonara part?
Bacon.
Oh.
That's a 5.
What?
1.
Eggplant parmigiana.
Yeah, that's 8.
That's a big 0 for me, homie.
Meatball sub.
Oh, God.
5.
This is getting worse and worse the further we go down. 0, man. That stuff is too messy. It doesn't eat well. You have to have a fork to eat a sandwich. I think that's retarded.
Oh, I like it. Gnocchi.
What? Huh? Oh, okay. I've had that come in like a Hello Fresh or something like that once. And I was like, what is this? What is this garbage?
Oh, you didn't enjoy it?
Lindsay.
5.
0.
Oh, my gosh.
I know it sounds crazy, but like when it comes to like the Big Ten of restaurants and foods and stuff, Italian's at the bottom of that list for me, man.
Somebody texted in and said, you think Zio's is delicious? You got to try Luigi's and Skytook. So authentic. I think it's run by the actual Italian mob. I've had Luigi's and Skytook. It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. It's not like I go to Zio's and I order one of everything.
Right.
I worked there after college, and their 5-cheese pasta, adding chicken to it, was so good.
Yeah.
Their spinach artichoke dip, which isn't Italian, whatever, but it was so good.
Mm-hmm. I just like the brown paper on the tables that give you crayons.
The cannoli, yeah, I know how to write my name upside down. Cannoli, with the Alfredo and the chicken and stuff, so good there.
Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you the Italian dish, the cannoli. That's delicious just because it's cheese and powdered sugar.
No. That's the dessert.
I know.
Yeah, I'm talking about.
That's the only Italian food that I really, 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 really like is a good old cannoli.
We haven't gotten to the real one. Pizza.
I've said it before, and you all thought I was crazy.
1 to 10.
1 to 10, a pizza. That's going to be a 3 for me. So low on the scale, man.
Lindsay.
10.
Yeah.
Always.
Pretty much all those except peppers and onions that we've mentioned are about anywhere between an 8 and a 10 for me.
Really?
See, I love peppers and onions. I don't love the heartburn, but man, it's almost worth the heartburn for me.
A good bolognese pasta.
Well, Italian food. They are the Beatles for me.
A nice short rib braised ragu.
Ragu, the sauce in a jar.
So it's just no, so good. I'm telling you, man, Italian food.
Mm-hmm.
Things that garbage collectors find in the trash, and it made me think twice. Maybe in some instances, we actually could get into that line of work.
Oh, yeah?
Because of the things that they have found in the trash. Reader's Digest did a poll from garbage collectors, and I was very surprised at the things that they found and the money that they have made on the things that they have found. For example, some of the things, of course, not so nice. This guy says that his sister actually worked in waste management for the past 10 years. And 3 years ago, she had a stop at a pretty big school district. And inside the district, they had found some big boxes in the trash. And it was full of computer equipment. And she was a huge techie. And apparently, in 3 of those huge boxes were vintage mechanical keyboards worth about $100 a piece. And she helped her with selling all of them, and they made $10,000 on reselling these vintage mechanical keyboards. that's something that we could get into. Or I could.
I'm not going to the garbage.
I'm not going to take the time to resell how many? 10,000 keyboards?
Yeah, they got to drop them off at the post office. Like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got the time.
Good morning. It's the Big Man Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Good morning, Corbin. You are just an hour away to becoming $1,000 richer. Rock the bank at 9 a.m. When you hear our keyword, enter it online at the website that rocks, KMOD.com. You'll have 8 more chances throughout the day to win $1,000. Good luck.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Good morning, Corbin. Rocklahoma is going to be coming up soon. Labor Day weekend, Prior USA. You can get your full lineup, your link for tickets, and everything you need to know about Rocklahoma at the website that rocks Lahoma, KMOD.com.
So, Conspiracy Theory Thursday, we talk about Area 51 every now and then. And there is this man named Kenny Veach. And in 2014, he discovered a cave in southern Nevada emanating strong vibrations. He described it resembling the perfect capital M. That's what the entrance looked like.
Okay.
And when he would approach, now he was an experienced hiker, knew the Mojave Desert pretty well, and he described the entrance as the M, like I said, but when he approached the entrance, he said he was frightened and he quickly left. A month later, he decided to try and return to find it. He disappeared without a trace and hadn't been seen or heard from since. Uh-oh. It's still a mystery to this day. People say they don't know what happened to him. Apparently, the cave, when he approached it, there was an intense vibration coming, violently shaking his body.
Mm-hmm.
And that he felt nauseous.
Okay.
And that he wasn't sure. It was called the M cave vibration. And that, I said, when he approached it, it would shake. It has sparked theories ranging from high-frequency sounds inaudible to the human ear to the presence of electromagnetic fields. To this day, no conclusive explanation for the vibration has been reached.
I wonder if other people have gone up there to check out the M cave.
I mean, I would think so.
Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh. My thought is he went back and he's like, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go in this cave. I'm going to see what's in there. What is causing this massive vibration? And he probably fell down a hole and he died or broke a leg and couldn't get out. And now he's dead at the bottom of this cave somewhere.
Many people, of course, have speculated what happened to him, with some suggesting he might have stumbled upon something otherworldly or government-related within the cave. Mm-hmm. And the mystery of his disappearance gave rise to a multitude of theories, but no evidence has ever surfaced about his disappearance. He wasn't known as a reckless adventurer.
Right.
He wasn't known as a guy who took unnecessary risks and chances.
Mm-hmm.
Remember those people back in, was it in Cuba or Puerto Rico that worked for the embassy and they were complaining of pain in their ears and they felt the vibration when it happened? Come to find out, that was actually a weapon that was being used and tested against, from a foreign adversary against America.
I can see something like this happening. If you're going to test weapons discreetly, secretively, what better place to do it than the desert?
Some are speculating that all this is nada. It ain't a thing. People making up stuff to sell his theory and to keep people in a conspiracy theory cycle. Because what never gets talked about, apparently, according to one commenter, is that he had major financial problems and major life problems and suffered from major depression.
Mm-hmm.
And that when he was depressed, he would go out and go on hikes.
Okay.
And to be with nature, it's a common thing with people that are depressed. When you go walking, you feel better about yourself. Mm-hmm. And that he went out for a walk and for the hike, right? And that there was a video apparently where he talks about his financial problems and that it is very possible that it led him to suicide and he went to a place where no one would find him and died.
Okay, I can see that.
And to me, I mean, I guess that's the perplexing thing about suicide, especially with this month being mental health awareness and the idea of that you're going to kill yourself. Would you want people to find you? Or would you hope people would find you?
I guess it depends if you have family, kids, and stuff like that. You know, if you are a loner, only child, never had any friends or anything, and you go out to off yourself, well, what's the point in having somebody find you? There's no closure there for anybody else to have. Okay? So I could see somebody doing that.
Some people say he entered the cave. Some people say he never entered the cave. Apparently, some documentation he made said that the cave made him vomit and that he never entered it.
Okay.
I've been on a boat vibrating enough where I felt like I was going to throw up.
Right. With enough energy pulsing through your body, I can see that could happen.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And if there's let's just say an electromagnetic field in there that's producing that much energy, okay.
Yeah.
You guys watch the Ghostbusters remake? Not the one with the girls, but the one after that.
The Paul Rudd one?
Yeah. Have you guys watched that one?
Not.
And inside a cave in the middle of a desert, kind of like this is what's going on. That's where all the ghosts and whatnots come from the bowels of the earth.
Yeah.
And that's where they're living at is in that cave or whatever. So maybe it's the same sort of thing. This cave, this M cave is like a portal to hell, or whatever, and the spirits got them.
Yeah, the only problem with that theory is there's no proof of those existing.
Right, because two people are too chicken-ass to go into this cave and find out. And old Mr. Man here, he's like, I'm doing it. And then he ain't come back since, so we will never know.
No, I'm saying there's no proof that theory of a cave like that exists anywhere. So to make an assumption that's what could have happened is all based off fantasy.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This could be the only one in the world. Who knows?
Sure.
Who knows?
The actual gate.
They say that at the top of at the North Pole, right? That's where you get it's the whole inner Earth theory. We've talked about hollow Earth and stuff like that before, and you can't get up there because governments are like, nay, you can't come up here. So in the event that somebody that you can get in there, who's to say that this desert cave isn't another hole into the middle of the earth?
Somebody texted in and said, I thought that they could not locate the M cave when they tried to go find him. That was not documented in the article I came across.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, that would make sense as they would go back to where it was. And in 2014, there was cell phones, there were GPS. And if he wasn't a reckless person, wouldn't he have the correct things to make sure he didn't get lost? To me, I have no idea. I haven't went, full in depth on it. It is very easy to get lost hiking.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Even it happens with experienced hikers. There's that movie, Mount Everest movie, right? Is it Mount Everest or Mount Rush? Mount Everest. And Josh Brolin's in it, right?
Yeah.
And they're all experienced, and he's like, I would never take risks. I would never take risks. And he goes to help one of his friends, breaking his own rules, and ends up dying. So in the movie, and it was based off true events, that was a guy who was very well versed and did not take unnecessary risks. Funny thing about that, it doesn't seem unnecessary when you save someone's life.
Right.
Right.
Or you're trying to. Because that feels necessary. But when you die doing it, it's stupid. It's a stupid mistake.
Yeah. Why would anybody go out there? And
if he broke his own rule and was like, "Oh, I don't use a GPS. That's for betas. I don't have a map. That's for beta. Then the world is my map." Then, he very well could have got lost and died alone, starving to death, regretting a lot of things, and not vibrated to death or sucked into some vortex to go with the aliens. Or he's living on Mars, as someone said, with the new name, Virginia.
Absolutely.
Virginia.
if Gimpy came to me and he was like, dude, if Gimpy was a hiker, and was like, hey, I was hiking over on the Osage Hills and I found this cave. Do you want to go with me and explore it? There was a weird vibration thing.
Mm-hmm.
I would say, I would probably pull like a poltergeist scenario and say, I'll go with you to the cave.
Mm-hmm.
You can tie a rope around your belly. I'll tie it to a tree, and I'll wait by the rope.
You're not going to go splunking with me?
Nope.
No.
Pussy.
Sure. That's fine. That does not bother me.
I think that's fair. You know, it'd be the safest way is to have somebody on the outside of the cave at the entrance, you know, with the other side of the rope, just in case. Hey, if I tug this 3 times, you need to pull me out.
Was that 3? Was that 3?
Right.
Because the vibration of the energy doesn't transfer all the way down the rope when you're at a certain distance.
I think my question to him would have been, when you said you felt these vibrations at this cave, how high were you when you found this cave?
That's another thing to think about, too, is it is not uncommon when people go on hikes to alter their state.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I've eaten mushrooms enough times. You kind of get that vibrating feeling from time to time. So maybe he was. Maybe there was no vibrations coming out of the caves. He was high on shrooms and decided to go in, slip, broke his ankle, tripped out for a couple of hours, and then now he's dead. I'm thinking that he's dead at the bottom of this cave, to be honest with you.
Or near it.
Somewhere, yeah.
Place he'd walked 100 times and...
Yeah.
But to near it, I could see how like people would be able to find his body. Okay,
not necessarily.
Because from what I said, his car was like 4 miles away.
Yeah.
From the cave entrance or whatever. So within that 4-mile radius, I would like to think, even if coyotes or whatever, dingoes came and ate him. You know, he breaks his leg or he passes out or whatever, and then he gets eaten by animals. There would still be some kind of remains around.
Some
bones, something. A skull.
It depends.
Something.
It depends, right? If to me, it is very... The problem with the 4-mile thing is that's assuming he did what he said he did.
Right. 'Cause we can only go off of what we know.
Correct. It's... When boats go missing in the water, they go with the last known spot. It's hard to account what the ocean did. Did they capsize?
Right.
Did they take on what? Like, there's so many other factors that are hard to determine that it's just in that area.
Right. The Malaysian plane is a good example.
Yeah.
The number of people that just go blindly missing is so perplexing to me. This is an example of that. That poor family whose father went missing in Barnstall and the tornado, they don't know where he's at. They don't know where he's at.
Right. He could have got picked up by a tornado and be miles away.
He could have maybe just got thrown a little bit and got lost.
Right. Because he's like 80-something, and you're disoriented because you just got whirled around by a tornado.
Yeah. There's so many, and I don't want to go into too many things of like what could be happening to them, but the idea, like, people go missing all the time.
Right.
It is insane. To me, if you're going to make an argument for aliens or something like that, a missing person is it.
Oh, absolutely.
It is the best logical assumption you can get to. Because there are people that go missing and they can quickly deduce where they went. Or in a month, they can deduce where they went. To completely evaporate
Right.
is insane to me.
Either aliens or you're now a Sasquatch love slave.
Yeah, again, I'm not on the Sasquatch train. But sounds like Gimpy is. It's all about that. But this is another, you add the vibration cave, and it's near Area 51.
Right.
You're like, oh, the government.
That was the furthest thing from my mind, to be honest with you. But that makes sense. Maybe he saw something he wasn't supposed to, and he, quote unquote, disappeared. Yeah. How do we not know if there is a mass graveyard of people that like cross the government and they just disappear and they throw them into this pit or whatever. And there's so many different bodies, and that's where they all land, is because the government's like, hey, you saw something you weren't supposed to see. And there's only one way to keep them quiet.
The bus station, that's their bus.
Yeah, the train station.
Train station, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's possible.
I am more likely to believe the idea that this is a game and that like a computer simulation and things like that are just the back door. Every computer program has a back door and how to get into it and stuff. And that's more of a backdoor scenario in the game that we are living in. I'll believe that way before I'll believe Sasquatch, the bus, the train station, any of those other things.
I don't know, man. Sasquatch love slave sounds pretty awesome. For those other people, not me. I don't want to be a Sasquatch love slave.
Maybe
no.
if Sasquatch shaves their legs. This says, Gimpy, read about Nutty Putty Cave.
What?
And you'll never want to go spelunking.
Nutty Putty Cave. Okay.
Nutty Putty Cave is a hydrothermal cave in Utah, Utes, in the United States. The cave was formerly popular with amateur and professional cavers. Despite being known for its narrow passageways, it was closed to the public in 2009 following a fatal accident. It was popular among Boy Scout troops and college students. It was founded in 1960. It's owned by the Utah School and Institutional Trust Land Administration. In 2009, the cave had 4 separate rescues of cavers and Boy Scouts who got stuck with the cave's tight twist. That's the other thing is you see people go caving and they get into these super narrow spots and you're like, breathe in. I'm like, what if I blowed up down there?
Right.
Right. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good on spelunking. I'm just going to leave it at that.
2009, John Jones became stuck and subsequently died in the cave after being trapped inside for 28 hours.
Ooh.
That sounds horrible.
Jones and 3 others had left their party in search of the birth canal, a tight but navigable passageway with a turnaround at the end. He entered an unmapped passageway, which he wrongly believed to be the canal, and found himself at a dead end with nowhere to go besides a narrow vertical fissure. Believing this to be the turnaround, he entered headfirst and became wedged upside down.
Yikes. For 28 hours?
The fissure measured 10 by 18 inches and was located 400 feet from the entrance of the cave. A large team of workers came to assist. The workers set up a sophisticated rope and pulley system in an attempt to extract him, but the system failed when put under strain, plunging him back into the hole. He had a cardiac arrest due to the strain placed upon his body over several hours for being inverted and then the compressed position. They concluded it would be too dangerous to attempt to retrieve his body. The landowner and the family came to an agreement that the cave would be permanently closed with the body sealed inside.
Oh.
Explosives were used to collapse the ceiling close to his body, and the entrance hole was filled with concrete to prevent further access. People of the caving community opposed the cave's closure. Facebook groups petitioned to save the cave. I remember that episode of that part of Back to the Future. Although cavers had cut their way through a gated entrance prior, the explosives used to close the passage and the cemented entryway made it difficult, if not impossible, to gain. There is a film about it called The Last Descent. Hells no. What's that movie? Is it 27 Hours where Franco and the rock falls on his arm? And he's bang. One of the best scenes in cinema. Like, you feel it. You know that feeling.
That's where he like takes a pocket knife and cuts his arm or leg off or whatever, right?
Yeah. And he gets it all but the nerve, and he has to cut the nerve, and
Yeah.
he goes, dang. And like, yeah.
I'm good. I'm good.
As I get older, I have this thing not to take unnecessary risks.
Right.
And as the older I get, the more, I guess, wide that definition gets of what is an unnecessary risk.
Right. Walking through the grocery store, you try to fart and end up crapping your pants. Unnecessary risk.
Yeah.
No. No, that's actually not on my radar yet.
Yes.
And even then, if it was a risk, I'd probably just wear a diaper. Just being honest. They make them for that.
Right.
Hold on, I'm going to take a chance. Nope, wrong chance.
The idea that I can walk around and just go to the bathroom whenever I want sounds so appealing. Mm-hmm. I feel like I've won. I would feel like I won. I'm being honest. I'm 100% being honest. I feel like that would be a giant victory in life.
Just see him like a toddler just sitting there being all nice and still.
Grinning.
You know exactly what's going on.
Legs kind of bent at the knee.
Right. Well, Corbin's taking a crap.
Hiding behind the couch. Yeah.
Like if you're ever in the lake or the pool with somebody and you're like, you're pissing, aren't you?
Right. You sure are hanging out at the back of that raft a lot.
I'm going to go over here by the ladder.
Right.
All right.
Exactly.
Why? All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, now playing only in theaters.
Never been fun.
Wow.
Oh, those poor people.
Lindsay, what's the age when life stopped being fun?
It hasn't stopped. I think it gets better.
Gimpy?
No, it does. It changes, it shifts, but it never stops being fun. It only stops being fun if you let it stop being fun. Like those people that say, it's never been fun. I was born and I've been miserable ever since. It's those people, right? So I'm with Lindsay. I don't think it ever stops.
For me, it's getting more fun as I get older. But there's a scene in the new season of Reservation Dogs, and in it, the aunt is talking to one of the kids who had run away to California and came back. And in the scene, she talks to the kid about like, hey, you're expecting this other shoe to drop that you get older and things just suddenly change. Mm-hmm. She's like, that never happens. You're still the same person you were at 4. I'm still the same person I was at 12. The difference between those times is I just have a ton more baggage.
Right.
And that baggage weighs you down. And I was like, damn, that's truth.
Florida man arrested after whipping out his willy in an Uber. This happened on January 27th, Saturday night, around 8:45. Jason Haggerty, 46 years old, was in Tampa, and his Uber driver drove him to St. Petersburg. While en route, Jason displayed and exposed his willy and proceeded to masturbate the duration of the ride until arriving home. The driver told police he speaks no English and was unable to tell the defendant to stop, though he did use his phone to record the defendant masturbating. The driver said that Haggerty ejaculated inside the vehicle.
Oh! Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Got an extra cleaning fee for that one, right?
Yeah.
I think there's just the standard, right? I don't know. Isn't there? You're the only person that's ever drove rideshare, so there's a standard cleaning fee, right?
I guess. I mean, yeah, if somebody barfs in your car, I think it's like an extra $300, but there's a little difference between vomit and semen.
He did say that he had to personally clean up the fluid from his vehicle. An arrest affidavit noted that there was a third unknown person in the vehicle's back seat who spoke up for the victim.
That's what she said.
At the conclusion of the ride. Police believe alcohol played a role in the incident. Haggerty is a licensed nurse practitioner. He was arrested for exposure of sexual organs, a misdemeanor, and booked into the county jail. During a court hearing, which happened this past Friday, the 2nd, a judge ordered Haggerty released from custody after posting his own bail. He puts the ew in Uber. He drove him to his $655,000 townhouse that evening.
I don't know why that's in there.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Because people with money should know better than to masturbate vigorously in the back of an Uber.
In the front. He was in the front seat.
People.
Oh, God.
Next to the
I didn't hear that part of the story.
I thought it was in the back seat.
Next to the driver.
Why didn't the driver just stop the car?
Why didn't he punch him in the balls?
No kidding.
And when you are an Uber driver, maybe some of the Uber drivers can answer this unless Gimpy went through this. If you have to charge a cleaning fee, do you 100% get all that money, or does Uber take a percentage of that too?
I don't know. I never had that problem. Nobody ever barfed in my car or masturbated to the point of completion either. So
I think the Uber driver gets all that money. And the only reason why I know this is because I worked with a guy that part-time Uber drove.
Okay.
And he used to say that he hoped that people would puke in his car because he would get extra money for it.
Well, but that doesn't mean it happened to him, right? That doesn't mean he got all the money.
Right.
And
he made it sound like he did.
yeah, but why would you hope that? You can't get that smell out. Like
I
that's
know, it's so gross.
the amount of money you get is not even close to the cleaning up other people's vomit. Unless you go to school to be a nurse or somebody that, no way.
Mm-hmm.
That's not awesome.
Let's see here. Since the customer pays for the cleaning fee, the charges can appear as an adjustment to their final fare days. Uber will proactively transfer the money to the driver's account, but if the passenger makes a mess, they're paying to clean it up and will receive a new or updated charge after the ride. So it doesn't say, no, Uber drivers don't get all the cleaning fee.
That's so BS.
Yeah.
That is.
Yeah.
So Uber takes a percentage off that too.
Uh-huh. They got to get all their money.
That's terrible.
The fee's based on nationwide averages of professional cleaning services. The fee is only paid when the mess is significant enough to prevent the rider from accepting further trips. I think semen counts. Don't sit in that seat. It's a little sticky. Man accused of shooting 127 rounds at ninja-like people. This comes out of Georgia, Marietta, Georgia, where there's a dude, he's 37, his name's Richard West, and he was roaming around town somewhere between midnight and 9:30 in the morning. And Richard, I guess, got paranoid, felt like there was some ninjas after him, so he whips out his 40 cal and fires 127 rounds into the business of J&R Cycles, okay? And all the damage, he destroyed a mini fridge, a microwave, a metal desk, a television, a space heater, 2 computer towers. He also shot out the front glass door and the storefront that was also glass. He tore down a portion of the ceiling panel and the insulation. He shot through multiple parts of the wall, a metal garage door, and broke a wooden bathroom door off its hinges and ripped it into pieces. Well, all that before stealing a motorcycle and getting the hell out of there. They ended up catching up to him. They popped him with 2 counts of criminal damage in the 2nd degree, theft by taking. They also got him for possession of a firearm during the commission of a theft and reckless conduct. He's still in jail.
I mean, even if he had an extended magazine, that's still like 6 or 7 clip changes, right?
Release, reload. Release, reload. 127 rounds.
I mean, I can't speak for anybody, but I have clips preloaded in my gun safe, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, but not 6 or 7.
No.
And so that means he sat there and was like, and just kept loading clips.
You never know. You never know when you're going to need 10 full magazines because of ninja-like people.
Gosh, some of them ninjas.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. See, now that's a
What?
headline. This happens in Maryland.
Hats off for the rhyme.
Yeah, right. See, that was
a good headline.
You told me you just pointed out a missed opportunity, and I was like, well, I got one too, so I just changed it real quick.
I love it. Well done.
Mother and daughter kill and grill grandma. What happened was this happens in Maryland, where police were sent to the home of a 71-year-old Margaret Craig for a welfare check. Margaret hadn't been heard or seen of from the last couple of days, all right? Well, for a couple of days, because they think that this all happened towards the end of May. So the police go over there and they do the welfare check, and that's when they can smell the decomposing body coming from a basement. Okay, so they go down there and they search, and that's where they found 3 different plastic bags with human remains in it, rotting away in the basement. So the story goes that Margaret accused her daughter, who is 44 years old, Candace Craig, of credit card fraud. So that led to an argument betwixt Margaret and Candace, which led to Margaret's death. Okay? So, flash forward a little bit. They say that the 19-year-old daughter of Candace, a woman named Celia Hardy, found the body of Margaret in a plastic bin and then decided to help dismember and dispose of the body. They believe that the 2 women used a chainsaw to cut Granny's body up and then threw the body parts on a grill and a bonfire in attempts to burn and destroy the body parts. Either way, they searched the house. They say that the remains were so badly decomposed that you can't do...
For a few minutes. It was captured and shared by Loch Ness Monster, and I haven't had sex with anyone spotter, Eon Eifendagen, well, buddy, using the Nessie on the Net webcam. took place in the early morning hours, resulting in the video of two mysterious black shapes appearing in the right-hand side of the footage. Based on what appears in the video, he believes the mystery object was almost 20 feet long because distance and darkness make it very easy to determine size.
Mm-hmm.
For about 2.5 minutes, the shapes are visible on the screen before shifting to the right and out of view. Quote, "It was just a spot at first, which got bigger over the course of 2.5 minutes." He told a newspaper the disturbance of water was in the same position over the length of the sighting, which was normal. The estimated length of the disturbance was about 18 feet long. The size intrigued me as there is no known animals that length in Loch Ness. It changed its appearance over the course of the sighting. Is it Nessie? It could be, but the footage needs further analysis. The loch was calm, but was darkened by low-lying clouds. That was all according to him. At the time of the recording at 6:15 a.m. to time of sighting at 6:42 a.m., there were no surface vessels observed. You guys got to see the video. Did you see anything that was alarming to you? That
I've been sitting here waiting for some humps, and I don't see nothing.
I don't either.
I get no humps.
The idea that you spend that much time watching. Okay, so there it is. All right. It is at about, it starts almost immediately in the video, about 20 seconds in, bottom right hand, right above that bush. It's kind of small, looks more like a pin dot.
I know that feeling.
And as time goes by, it gets bigger, and then there's like another one behind it, a little bit more faint. Bird flies right over it, and it's there for a few more seconds. It stays there until right at the very end of the video when it disappears. It looks like a shadow, really.
And that's probably what it is. Shadow of a bird of sorts. I have watched this live feed before just for fun. I don't know why, in hopes that maybe I'll be the one that spots it. And pretty much I just sit there and end up watching the landscape. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. I'm just sitting there watching this body of water and the landscape, and nothing ever happens.
The amount of time this individual has probably spent watching this stream to find something is I'm fascinated by.
And that's probably why he thinks he found something or saw the humps, because I still have yet. I mean, you gave us a good time, and I still have yet to see anything. But my thought there is like your mind starts wanting you to see something, so it'll make stuff up, almost hallucinating sort of thing, you know? And then it's like, oh, look, I saw it. It's right there. You know, meanwhile, ain't nobody else seeing anything.
Yeah. To me, there's definitely something there. That's all I have to say about that.
Right. It's probably a log coming up from the water, popping up or something.
Turtle or, you know, an alligator.
Or a shadow.
Somebody swimming. Anything. But I don't know, Nessie.
But the amount of time he has sat there just watching over and over and I am so intrigued by this.
So the tales of the Loch Ness Monster have been around forever. I was just trying to see if I can get a year on it. 1933. Popular interest and belief in the creature has varied since it was brought to world attention in 1933. So 1933 is when we first started talking about Nessie. And it's been going on for all these decades. What I'm getting to is, how could Nessie still be alive after so long? We're talking almost 100 years. You know, Nessie be like 90-something now.
Well,
right?
This is its offspring.
Oh, yeah? You think so, huh? I mean, I guess that could make sense. But I mean, you have to have at least two monsters to make a third.
I don't know if that's necessarily true.
Right? I mean, I guess. I mean, there are animals who lay eggs but how do they get fertilized? I guess there are animals that do that.
Is it an eel that we don't know anything about but it duplicates on its own, but they don't have sex?
Yeah.
There's one sea water animal that we don't know anything about. We don't know how it works or anything, and I think it's the eel.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
Many animals reproduce asexually, including planarians, annelid worms, turbularians, sea star, fungi, and plants. It says here sea sponges. It says, however, there are some interesting critters in the animal kingdom that do the same thing. Sea sponges, tapeworms, aphids, jellyfish, marmorcrebs, a boa constrictor, okay, whiptail lizards, gall wasps, and then that was and it had cut me off and made me go there. Okay, here we go. Gall wasps, Komodo dragons, and a hammerhead shark. So I guess it is possible for Nessie to reproduce.
Guess it is.
Yeah,
it is.
It is 100% possible because there were 2 lizards on this list. So I'm thinking, Nessie is a kind of, it seems lizard-like.
Sure.
I guess. I don't know. I'm just going off of what I've heard, what I do know. So, man, yeah, sure. Maybe it is the offspring. But, I mean, come on. We all know offspring gets curious. Kids get curious all the time.
Except Sasquatch kids.
Right.
Yeah, well, yeah, their parents train them.
Right. You're just breaking Sasquatch rules is why I'm...
Right. So it's like, why couldn't...
Or alien rules.
Right. Why couldn't Nessie's kids be like, hey, what's that up there? Oh, what's that? I've never seen that before.
To your point with kids, like, across the board, why aren't there alien kids, like, sneaking out?
Yeah.
Exactly. Sasquatch kids sneaking
Hitting
out.
mailboxes.
La Chupacabra babies just out there terrorizing, the plains.
All right, we got to take a break. We've got our top list today, top movie and TV moms. Plus, we're going to talk about handlebars and hot rods, which is coming up. We'll take a break, and we'll be back.
The Big Mad Morning Show returns.
Number one, 50. I want to make sure I get that. I would hate to fumble this. It's the most dangerous sex position, according to science. It's the cause of 50% of penile fractures. 50.
That's a lot.
So of all the penile fractures that happen, half are because of this sex position. What do you think, Lindsay?
Doggy style.
Okay, Gimpy?
I am going to say it is the reversed cowgirl.
It is the reverse cowgirl.
Which is my favorite by far.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes, all of them are good.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Even plain old vanilla is good.
Yeah. Yeah. The line of great is pretty thin from a guy's standpoint.
Right. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense because they're not looking and paying attention. But are you really looking and paying attention even if you're facing forward? You know what I mean?
There's obviously no bones inside a penis. So it's a tear in the frenulum or the tunica albuginea.
Sure.
This is a rubbery sheath of tissue that allows for the penis to do what it does best. And that there is this new resurgence because of the doctor saying this on TikTok that people are like, oh, okay.
So they're seeing more broken boners now because of the TikTok?
No. The story of this being the number one sex position for a broken wee-wee.
Okay.
I've never had a fractured penis, so I don't know what that would be like.
It's not fun. I mean, it didn't break or anything.
You've had a fractured penis?
I don't want to say fractured, but, things didn't work out the way that it had, and it should have zigged when I should have zagged. You know what I mean?
I'm glad you're saying this. I was hoping you would say this.
Yeah.
How would you know you have a fractured penis? You would have to go to a doctor to know for sure. So, I'm pretty sure, I'm just making an assumption here, that Gimpy did not go to the doctor in regards to his penis situation.
No.
So it's a self-determined diagnosis.
Yeah, when you break an arm or a leg. When I slipped on the smallest patch of ice in the parking lot, there was an audible pop. That happened. And that's how I knew that I'd broken my leg. When I broke my tooth on vacation, there was an audible pop.
Yeah.
That allowed me to know that I broke my tooth. That and the tooth, fell on the floor or whatever. So when that happened, there was an audible pop. that led me to believe that, like, oh yeah, this is definitely like I said, it wasn't broken or anything because there is no bone to break. It hurt, and it was out of commission for a couple weeks, and that sucked.
Sure.
But you're right. I didn't go to the doctor and be like, doctor, I think I broke my Peter.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that break bones and don't know they've broken a bone.
Right.
Right.
There are players, football players, that run on broken legs and don't know that they're broken until later.
Okay, so to me, broken and fractured are two totally different things. Like a hairline fracture, a small fracture, you can still perform with a fracture. But like when I broke my leg, it was broke, floppy doppy.
Yeah.
There's no way I could stand on it. You know
Penile fracture is this term.
Yeah.
But people say the same thing.
Yeah, say it's
fracture and broken, kind of, unless you're a medical doctor using it looks like you have a fracture or you have a broken arm.
Right. So with that,
because doctors talk serious, that's why this voice works.
So when it comes to the penile fracture, I just said, most people can work through a fracture, a hairline fracture. There's no working through that one. That's just too sensitive of an area.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how does it get fixed? You just ice it?
Just time.
Yeah, like a lot of breaks. Like if you broke your foot, you just don't do it. You just have to be careful.
Yeah,
you still have to walk.
On it.
The cast. Oof.
Right.
Not something I'm signing up for.
Right.
And having it removed. Pass. Hard pass.
Right, where they break out
soft
that
pass.
Yeah. It won't cut you. Not taking a chance there, Doc. Teen arrested for setting hotel fire after fighting with mom. This also comes out of Florida, Ocala, Florida, where I guess a 16-year-old girl got in a fight with her mom at like 3:30 in the morning and then goes down into the lobby and sets a sofa on fire. So the police and the ambulance and the fire trucks, everybody comes out, all these emergency crews or whatever. All 320 residents of the hotel, all the guests, were evacuated at 3:30 in the morning.
The witching hour.
So the firefighters came in, and they're battling through the smoke-filled lobby, and they find the fire, the source of it. The couch is on fire. They put it out with their little water can. They say that the damages cost a couple of $100,000 to this couch, and the wall that was behind it totally scorched, burnt up. Pictures are on our Facebook page. They ended up arresting the girl. They didn't say what the girl and the mom were fighting over, and they didn't say what led to, her wanting to set the couch on fire. My guess is probably just angry teen and probably had some alcohol involved in there somewhere. That's just my theories on it. Nonetheless, they went ahead and arrested her for arson, and the investigation continues.
So many things on this. They don't let you get your luggage. Like, you went out of the hotel, and then they're like, you can't go back in.
Right.
So you got to go find a place without your stuff.
Right.
Wallet probably.
Right.
Credit cards probably.
Maybe your phone.
And so all you're in is your skirt, your tighty-whities or whatever.
So you're talking about the 320 guests that were evacuated. They did let them all go back in. All the guests were allowed to go back into their room and go back to sleep after it was all said and done.
I'm shocked by that because the sprinkler system has gone off.
But just
and it flooded the floor.
The lobby area, though. Just the first floor and that lobby area. Anybody
still feels like danger, Will
2
Robinson.
through 9. Oh, I totally get you. Smoke damage, smoke inhalation, whatever. I was surprised that they let them all go back in as well, but that's what they said.
Dude, I was unaware that sprinkler systems in a building go off by floor.
Yeah, I thought it was all automatic
at one time.
everywhere.
Yeah. Maybe this is a different one, but the story did say that they let all 320 guests or everybody that was evacuated go back to their room later on that morning, probably about 5:30 or so. Still, 3:30 in the morning, you woke up, you're probably on vacation.
Sure.
You gotta evacuate. Everybody go meet in the parking lot over there by the 4th
Bob Evans.
street light.
Yeah.
Right, exactly. And then you're waiting there for hours. After they get everything cleaned up,
Smoke fills the whole place.
Oh yeah. And they're like, you can go back. I'd probably be like, okay, I'm gonna go get my stuff, and I'm gonna check out and go find another place. And then we'll deal with reimbursement after this.
All right. Then the other thing I was thinking about, your kid does this, what do you do?
What's the punishment?
Right. We'll deal with this when we get home.
How old was the girl?
16.
Yeah, like, what do you do?
You're grounded. Grounded.
No
for
screens.
Arson.
Yeah.
Right. She's 16 and went to jail for arson. So chances are this parent or the parents are going to be like, well, she went to jail and she's being charged. And they're probably going to take out the couple $100,000 worth of damage out of her
Right,
allowance.
that's a whole... Oh, yeah, right?
Right.
It feels too late. Like, you already, she's
So
already...
give up. Okay. Give up on your kid. Okay.
No. I'm not saying that.
You're a lost cause. I tried
Yeah,
for
that's what you
6
said.
years.
It's too late.
Why don't you go live on the streets with the rest of the crackheads?
No, but I mean, like, it's too late to be like, you're grounded for, you know what I mean? Like,
Well, typically punishments come after the infraction.
sure, but she...
Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show. 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Joining us right now is Mike Malega from the Tulsa Drillers. Hey, buddy.
How are you? Good morning, Corbin.
Good morning, sir. And rain has not been the best of friend to baseball in the last 7 to 10 days, has it?
No, man. Woo! It's been brutal. Probably the rainiest stretch I think we've ever had. 3 rainouts in that 12-game homestand, which is not how you draw them up. But when we did play, we had great crowds and we had some great fun, and it was pretty awesome. But 3 rainouts in 12 days. We had 1 rainout all last season, so that's not great.
Well, and the reason I'm bringing this up is because you guys have a really good policy of if you have tickets to a game that gets rained out, what happens?
Yeah, they can use it. Fans that are holding tickets can use it to any other game the rest of the regular season for equal value. So just your standard rain check is what they call it in baseball. So if you had a seat behind home plate for the game that was canceled, you can come and go to the box office and get a seat for this. Just exchange your rain out ticket for any other game that season.
Yeah, I think that's a really good policy. Rather than you have to do the game you missed being replayed or actually made up, then you can go to any game. I think that's a great policy to show how much the fans are important to you guys. So I just think it was important to point that out, especially with so many rain delays that happen. You guys are back in action on Tuesday on the 14th down at One Oak Field with a really good homestand with Wichita, who have been really good.
Yeah, Wichita's been a nice little burgeoning rivalry for us. So we love it. We call it the Propeller Series because Wichita has got, a big aerospace industry, as does Tulsa. So that's kind of a bond, I think, between the two cities. So we play for a Propeller trophy at the end of the season with these guys. And we've played 6 games against them so far this year, and we're even at 3-3. So, these games have a little bit more significance because of that.
And, of course, $2 Tuesday on Tuesday. You got day baseball on Wednesday. And as the weekend comes in for that homestand next week, you got fireworks on both nights, too.
Yeah, exactly. Another big weekend out here, as we start getting the kids out of school and the summer weather, and hopefully a little bit more drier weather starts to settle in. This is kind of the best time of year for us, I would say, is like mid-May to July 4th is probably the best time of year to come to a Drillers game.
Well, make sure you get your tickets, TulsaDrillers.com. I wanted to bring up this one baseball thing. I'm going to try and play some audio, so hopefully you can hear this, Mike, when I play this back. This happened when I'm going to mess this name up. The Dodgers player Yoshimindo Yamamoto. Thank you. Was up. He was pitching, and just listen to the announcers on what happens with this pitching sequence.
Don't take this the wrong way, but we are already a no-hitter alert. Yoshinobu Yamamoto, before he throws a single pitch tonight against the Marlins, we have a no-hitter alert. Okay. Enjoy what could be a no-hitter from Yamamoto.
Jazz, swing your first pitch.
Right here on MLB Network for Harold, CY, I'm Greg. We have a no-hitter alert. Enjoy this game live on MLB Network.
Boy, you're great.
It's in the major leagues to establish himself as that guy.
First pitch.
Dodgers
this is the
looking
first
for a
pitch.
6th straight win and a 13th out of their last 15 after they took the first game 6-3 last night. Yamamoto comes home, and off we go. And the aggressive Marlins get a first pitch swing and a high fly ball and a home run for Jazz Chisholm on the first.
Hits a home run on the first pitch, after all that pomp and circumstance for a no-hitter, and Mike, this is a classic example of announcers cursing themselves and that it can go sideways at any point. But from a baseball fan standpoint, pretty awesome sequence.
Absolutely classic. Exactly what he deserved. What a joke, This is the guy that was actually the studio guy from MLB Network. So they were getting ready to throw it to that game, I think. And he made his bold prediction, and boy, did that just backfire in about 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Hilarious.
But worthy. I mean, Yamamoto is not a bad pitcher. He's a absolute stud. So
yeah, and the Marlins are horrible. And so, I mean, okay, decent, prediction, but it's pretty hard to shut out a major league team, even if it's the worst major league team.
Right. Even those guys score runs. So to imply otherwise is a little far off, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just typical of what society today, guys, on the radio and TV, they just throw out garbage. It's everything. We're in a clickbait society, man. It's terrible. It's just absolute garbage for him to say that, just making a couple guys laugh, I guess. The one guy that's to his left who says, Jazz likes to swing at that first pitch. Well, sure did. That guy was right with his prediction.
Right, and he absolutely did. But I will come to the defense of my brother in here. He could have been trying to fill time to throw it to the crew out in L.A. for the game. I mean, sometimes the improv that has to happen for a baseball announcer, you got to come up with stuff to talk about.
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's a pretty bold prediction now. I mean, come on now. Okay, first game of the regular season, opening day, incoming undefeated season. Here we go, guys. Undefeated season, 162-0 for the Dodgers. I mean, there's some predictions you can make, and there's some that are best, left in the old back pocket.
Well, listen, I have a prediction, and that is if you go to a game at One Oak Field to see the Tulsa Drillers in action, you're going to have a good time. There's so much going on between the food, the beverages, the atmosphere, the games played between the innings. The kids are going to have fun sitting out on the grassy berm. The fireworks that happen on the weekends. There's always something exciting happening at One Oak Field. And don't forget to stop by the Pro Shop, too, and get some of the cool merchandise that the Drillers have there, too. And you can also look at it online, TulsaDrillers.com. Back in action next Tuesday at One Oak Field. Mike, thanks for taking the time.
As always, appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend.
All right, take a break, and we'll be back.
Buzz to the Wall Sports is powered by the award-winning service of Groundworks Tulsa. More of the Big Man Morning Show.
You have 24 hours after I hand this to you to go take a drug test. Would you like me to hand it to you? And I was like, no. And he's like, all right, tomorrow morning I have to hand it to you. Mm-hmm. So whatever you need to get taken care of.
Right.
And so I went and bought pea clean,
all the stuff,
broccoli, whatever, all the stupid stuff. And went and did the test. And when I did the test, they give you all these instructions, the thing, put it in there, don't flush, da-da-da. So I obviously have to pee like a crazy person. Mm-hmm. And because I've been holding it, and I go to the bathroom just thank God, fill the cup and no problem. Done, being a good boy, and I flush.
Oh,
and they're like, I go out, and she's like, did you just flush the toilet? I'm like, yeah. Cup's in the thing. We're good? And she's like, no. You can't flush. So 1 hour. See you again. See you in an hour. And you're like, and if you didn't do the test, they fired you.
Yeah. Oh.
And I was like, So I went and ate and panicked.
Mm-hmm.
Went back and did it again and was like, did not flush. She even put a note on the thing. Don't flush.
Did she say it happens?
No.
Or was she mean about it?
No, she wasn't mean about it, but she also wasn't empathetic.
Yeah.
Right.
She's there to do a job.
Right.
She's seen all the tricks. Mm-hmm. You go in there and you're peeing like you're running out of, you haven't peed in days.
Yeah.
He is well aware that you're trying to pass a test.
Uh-huh.
They're not stupid.
They've seen all the tricks.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. The question is, how many people lost their job there after that? Did anybody?
Good question.
No. No,
we're all Johnny Fever in
of
this
the places I've worked that have had drug policies. Mm-hmm. I've never seen and alcohol.
Yeah,
I've never seen somebody get fired.
Wow.
And I know that some people didn't.
Yeah.
So maybe there was an internal hey, you get a warning and next time though
we'll test
possibly.
you
again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. The Huffington Post has a list of the rudest things to avoid when you're visiting someone's home, like things you shouldn't do, right?
Oh, okay.
Touching or moving things.
Well, yeah.
Oh, so like if I'm guilty of this though. Like if a picture is,
I'm shocked.
If a picture is crooked hanging on the wall, I'll straighten it.
Why?
No.
Why? It's not yours.
Exactly.
Nope. Because I'm sure that it wasn't supposed to be crooked.
You don't know that. Some people like things off kilter like that.
I'll even mention it. I'm going to fix that.
Oh, that's rude. That's like, like the cliche of like a mom coming in like, your pictures aren't straight.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Ma.
Another one. Expecting a tour.
Oh, yeah.
You don't walk in and be like, give me a tour.
No, I don't.
I totally do. I love snooping around.
Because I don't want someone to do that to me. Because what if your bedrooms aren't clean or the bathroom's not clean?
Then they'll let you know.
Yeah.
Furthermore, Susan, they shouldn't be having company over if that's the case. Bedroom, maybe. Right? Bathrooms, though, clean that ass up if you're having company come over.
Another one. Overstaying your welcome.
Right.
How long? What's the good amount of time to stay at someone's house?
Depends on what the activity is.
Yeah.
Let's say dinner.
Oh, okay.
Couple hours.
2 hours after dinner. After 2 hours.
So you show up at 6, 8, get out.
Mm-hmm. Because now it's time for the family to wind down.
Yeah.
And start doing their own nightly routine.
And I think it depends on who it is, too. Like you always know, I think, depending on which friend it is.
Snooping.
Oof.
Yeah.
Opening the cabinet.
Yeah, you
to
don't
look
do
through the
that.
medicine cabinet. You feel like you give the vibe that you do that.
No, I don't do that.
Okay, it's not an insult. I'm just saying
Yeah.
it gives a vibe.
Why?
Because you're
gives you that
nosy.
vibe?
You're very nosy.
What makes me nosy?
Well, you'll walk into a room when a conversation's happening going, wait, what are we talking about?
Oh.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You love knowing other people's gossip?
Yeah. I'll watch those gossip shows.
No, I'm talking
They're
like
there
personal
for.
gossip. I'm not talking about TV shows.
Yeah, if we're here, I don't want to miss out on anything, for sure.
Yeah, that's nosy.
Yeah.
Bringing an uninvited +1.
Yeah. Because now you're forcing the other people to, like, entertain somebody they don't know. It just makes
Right,
everything.
or don't like.
Exactly. And it's not your place to be inviting somebody else over.
Feeding their dog.
Huh? Oh, like table scraps or something?
I think that's what they mean, right?
Yeah.
I can't imagine you'd be like, where's your chow chow so I can put it in the bowl? Yeah, some people do that. Some people think that because they feed their dogs table scraps or popcorn or whatever, that they can do that with your dog.
That's good that your dog's stomach has adapted to that, but now you're going to make your friend's dog crap all over their house because it's not used to that.
Showing up empty-handed.
I don't think that's that bad. I mean, do I have to bring potato salad every time I come over?
No.
Exactly.
No, I always take something.
Yeah, I always take a bottle of wine.
Okay.
Always, always.
All right. I usually got my medicine on me, so that just works out perfectly.
Yeah, but that's not extra, right? Like you said, it's like offering him a cigarette.
Right. I don't have to share with you, though. That's the thing. I don't have to.
Yes, but you're not going out of your way is the point, right?
Listen, I'm the guy that goes to Walmart and gets the cookies for the potluck that we're having here at work, okay? Do you expect more from me?
Yeah, I think if you go to someone's house and they're making, like, let's just say dinner still, you got to take something.
Yeah.
I did. I brought
Even
my
a
appetite.
dessert or wine, whatever.
Yeah.
Something.
It's just manners, Gimpy, right?
Right. Yeah, sure.
No?
Listen, y'all invited me over. Okay, cool. I'll come over and have dinner. That's all right. Doesn't mean I have to bring a bottle of wine or a 6-pack or a bottle of anything for that fact. That's that. Unless you say so, hey, BYOB, bring a bottle, bring a side item. We'll get the main course. That happens to me a lot. We got the main courses. Come on over for barbecue, whatever. Bring a side item. All right, cool. Tater salad it is.
I've never gone to someone's house and, like, looked around and said to myself, that's so dirty here.
Oh.
Ugh.
Wow.
What, do they have lives? Right? I don't go, their sheets, they didn't even make their bed. I don't do all that.
Oh, I bet you have.
Look down my
No.
nose at you.
Because life happens.
Depends on the level of the filth. Right, if you walk into somebody's house,
if you're
and
a
it looks
hoarder,
like hoarders, yeah, exactly.
I ain't going to your house. I already know you're a hoarder.
But this is the first time you didn't realize that they were disgusting people or hoarders until you walk into their house, right?
No. You
get
can read a
totally
hoarder a
thrown
mile
off guard.
away. No, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
Hoarder.
Yeah, you can read a hoarder a mile away.
You just tell by the way they dress, their lack of showering,
or by their vehicle.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure. Right. I think absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But you still don't say anything. You just kind of watch where you sit down, maybe scooch the newspapers or whatever, paper plates with leftover pizza rolls on them, and hang out for a little bit. And I got to go. I got it.
If I'm going to judge, I'm judging, I'm going to judge the food.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not going to judge like, hey, your bed wasn't made.
Mm-hmm.
No.
I'm going to judge, oh my God, you served Brussels sprouts or whatever that is.
Right.
I'm not going to get all like, ugh, you didn't clean for my arrival.
Right. 'Cause you're right. Life happens,
Life
especially
happens.
if you've got small children.
Oh, and you're having a dinner party.
Right. You can expect toys to be all over the place. Now, there's a difference between, a little clutter, kids don't know how to pick up their toys, and your house looks like Ross, dressed for less. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I would think if you're hosting a dinner party, you would want to clean up.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
But that's not necessarily true, especially if you're like, hey, come over tonight, we're having pizza.
Mm-hmm.
Pizza feels like there's no cleaning happening.
Yeah, it's okay to have your laundry still piled up on the back of the couch from like 4 days.
You should at least pick it up and throw it on your bed.
Yeah.
Right? Give me a place to sit.
Right. Just move the panties over. It'll be fine.
It's always like, I've gone and I stopped getting in the car with this person when I went to get in their car and they're like, hold on. And they had to like unload a bunch of stuff from the seat and the floorboard into the back seat so I could sit down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you invited me to get in your car.
You should have had that fixed up beforehand.
Or just don't invite me into your car.
I'm with you.
Right? If you don't have a place for me to sit, what are you doing inviting me over?
I just like the company.
I'm not a charity. Yeah. So that would be, I'm judging food. What do you judge? What's your judge when you go to someone's house? If it's
Cleanliness.
Cleanliness?
Probably, yeah. Especially if you're having a dinner party.
Yeah, I might do that too.
Uh-huh.
Gimpy?
Definitely cleanliness. Now, it doesn't have to be sparkling like you walk in and everything's ting, 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 No. But if you're inviting people over, dinner party, or just to hang out and have a smoke sesh, you might want to just kind of pick up the bulk of
Smoke
things
sesh.
first.
You're so bougie.
Yeah.
You're going over get high, and you're like, man, the house was so dirty.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, yeah, if you got to, you can't put your soda down or your water down on the table because, it's littered with empty cans.
Right.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I'm talking about, man.
Yeah.
Go get a damn trash bag.
But
clear off the tables
Yes.
and it'll be fine.
Yes.
I'm not saying you have to run the vacuum.
Right.
All right? Just don't make people come in and be like, oh, God. Oh. God. And furthermore, Susan, if it smells a little bit, just spray something. Just spray something in the air. You don't want to walk into somebody's house and get hit with a brick wall of stank. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you got to be careful too. Don't go crazy. Right? If you're unloading half a can of Lysol,
right. You're
obviously covering up a
something
smell.
Yeah.
Right?
Which will reveal itself in a
In
little
due
bit.
time.
Yes.
It's not permanent.
It smells like wildflowers and ass.
Yeah. Is it Febreze?
And mold.
Febreze is literally advertised to cover up stink.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Which means you have a problem if there's stink in the
Yeah.
house. What about a toilet bowl that's got a pink ring in it?
I'm not judging that.
Gross.
It's pink mold.
Yeah.
It's mold
Gross.
Yeah.
in the toilet bowl.
Yeah. That's okay.
Ugh.
Now, I mean, there's a difference between is there sitting urine or like, Mr. Hanky, is he taking
Skid
a little
marks.
swim right there?
There's some rubbing his racing.
Right. Like,
Gross.
previous person was a freckler. I get what you're talking about. Yeah. Dude, that happens, bro. That happens in everybody's house. I'm hoping that you would, at least go in there and take that little brush and whirl around a little bit.
But you didn't.
You didn't, exactly. But I mean, it is what it is. Everybody poops. Everybody has that, whatever you may need a knife for. It's okay.
Bidet, dude. Bidet.
Right. I get it. That cleans the skid marks off of your end, but I mean, this is down on the porcelain. I don't think it works like that.
Eat some fiber. What's the strangest type of bird that you'd be willing to eat, such as a shoebill stork? You know what a shoebill stork is, Lindsay?
No.
Look up shoebill stork. Good morning. It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Good morning, Lindsay.
Oh, good morning, Corbin. And happy birthday to Heidi Romanova. She's 29 today. And this porn star is a natural redhead hottie. You can find her in Hungry Mouth, Shower Heads Are Good to Me, and Sweet Punishment. She loves being naked.
Good morning, Gimpy.
Well, good morning, Corbin. You just got your first keyword to rock the bank. The keyword is when, so you can head on over to the website, thatrockskmod.com, and punch that in. And you've got other chances throughout the day. You got up until 5 o'clock every hour, until 5 p.m., to get that keyword and punch it in at KMOD.com as you rock the bank and score yourself $1,000 cash.
All right, on Thursdays at this time, we do this thing called Top List. Let's get started.
It's time for a Big Man Morning Show's Top List. Random topics, randomly drawn with random results. Now here's Corbin, Gimpy, and Lindsay with this week's Top List.
This week's Top List is top TV and movie mom. See, Mother's Day is on Sunday, so this feels appropriate. Lindsay, what is your number 5 top TV or movie mom?
All right, I'm going to start with the TV moms that I wouldn't have mind having growing up. I picked Sophia Petrillo, coming in at number 5, from The Golden Girls. Because she was witty, funny as hell, and a great Italian cook. So you'd always have good food in the house. Sophia.
I don't ever think I remember Sophia cooking anything.
Oh, she did.
Okay.
She was at the stove a lot.
Estelle Getty is who you're referring to. Sorry,
Getty.
I was like, did we see? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, she was a TV mom. She was Dorothy's mom.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it fits.
Yeah. Number 4, Morticia Addams from the Addams Family. She was hot, so you'd have good genes passed down to you.
Well, she was dead.
Morticia wasn't dead.
No.
Yeah, they were just very goth.
Yeah.
They were goth before goth was goth.
I thought Morticia was a vampire.
No, no, I don't think so. Maybe you're thinking of the Munsters.
Probably.
No, you don't know what I'm thinking. I thought Morticia was like a vampire or something.
No.
I don't remember that.
Well, what was she then? She wasn't a human.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, everybody in the Addams Family was human except for Thing and Cousin It. You know? Yeah. Because Wednesday was total human, Pugsley total human, and the Thing and Cousin It, he was the hand, and I was thinking the Thing that's from the Munsters or whatever.
Okay.
So,
according to this, because this has got to be accurate, because it's the internet. No, they are anything but nutty or very eccentric people. Okay.
Yeah. She didn't take any S from anybody, and she taught her kids the same thing. They just were who they were. They didn't care.
Morticia's maiden name is Frump. I did not know that.
She was definitely not frumpy.
And she had an older sister named Ophelia. The more you know.
Yeah. My last TV mom was Elise Keaton from Family Ties.
Okay.
She was really chill and very likable. She never really embarrassed her kids in any way. And she was very accomplished. She was an architect. And I dug her.
Okay.
So, which brings me to my favorite two movie moms that I would have liked to have had. Malin Eatonton from Steel Magnolia.
So this is 2.
Mm-hmm.
You're number
My
2.
number 2.
Sally Field.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because she was a bit square, but she loved her daughter and would do anything for her. She even donated her kidney to save her daughter's life. Plus, she had a great support group of girlfriends.
Yeah.
And they had a great time. And her girlfriends helped her keep her sanity. And I think that a good support system is key for every mom. And you would want that for your mom. Honestly. And then number 1 for me is Aurora Greenway from Terms of Endearment, who is played by Shirley MacLaine. She was rich AF.
Oh, okay.
Number 1. And number 2, when her daughter was sick and dying of cancer, the way that Aurora talked to that hospital staff and got her medicine when she was yelling at them. Why hasn't anyone gotten my daughter her meds? She's in pain. She needs her medicine. Get her meds.
Shirley MacLaine.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you want that type of woman having your back, especially when you need it the most.
Yeah, no, a deranged, crazy person. For
Yes,
sure.
Absolutely.
She's fantastic in that movie.
Yes,
that movie's
she is.
fantastic, but.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
Interesting. All right. We're doing top TV and movie moms. Gimpy, what do you got for number 5?
Well, coming in at number 5 would be Kitty Foreman, played by Deborah Jo Rupp from that 70s show.
Yeah.
She seemed like always just be bubbly and in a good mood.
Drunk.
Yes, and if you pissed her off, she'll let you know about it because she went off. The few times that she went off. But she seemed like a cool mom, you know? Made me wish that I was, part of that family, whatever. So, yeah, Kitty Foreman. Now, Red was an asshole, but, he was just a standard hard-ass dad, calling everybody a dumbass. But this isn't dads. We're talking about moms. Number 4 is going to be Peg Bundy, played by Katie Seagal. Now, Peg Bundy is probably the first, I want to say, like, TV crush. You look at her, you're like, hey, hubba, huge hair, huge jugs, big fat ass, those long ass legs. I'm like, Al, you should be hitting that more often, man. But, he always seemed to not want to. And I get it, I guess. I get it, but I'm like, Al, come on now. Come on. Knock the bottom out of that. Make her happy. Yeah, so that's number 4. Number 3, Lindsay had it, Estelle Getty, Sophia Petrillo. She was always cool, sassy old Miss Petrillo, always just quick, like she said, quick-witted, good gal. But I didn't, she was a TV mom, but I looked at her more as like a grandma, obviously, because, she played that character or whatever. But nonetheless, it'd be cool if she was my grandma, yeah. I wouldn't hit it like I would Peg Bundy, but that's just me. Number 2 is Helen Parr. Do you know who Helen Parr is?
Yes, Helen Parr would be Elastigirl.
Yes, from
The
The
Incredibles.
Oh, yeah.
Mrs. Incredible. Simply because she's a pog, man. God damn that ass on Mrs. Incredible.
Just like...
Ooh, man.
Sure, apple bottom jeans, yo.
For real, man. I'm telling you, Mrs. Incredible be packing, and I'm like, damn.
Got them birthing hips.
Damn. All right. You get it. Get it. I'd like to see the other side of Mrs. Incredible. And then number 1, if you notice, like most of those minus Sophia Petrillo kind of had like a sexual connotation to it. Maybe Kitty Foreman. I probably would still hit Kitty Foreman too. I'm just saying. Until she laughs, then it's like, I don't know. But nonetheless, the number 1 TV and movie mom for me doesn't have a name. At least I couldn't find a name. But it's the mom from Mars Needs Moms. The only TV character, a movie character that has ever made me cry, to be honest with you. All right, I watched that movie shortly after my mom passed, and then when the kid finally reunites with his mom, I just lost my ass.
Seth Green's mom in the movie?
In the movie or whatever. Yeah.
Joan Cusack.
Okay. I don't care. I don't care.
Great actress. Just looks like she's been hit by a bunch of rocks.
For real.
Boulders.
The freaky stuff that she did and Shameless, though, if she's that character all the way
Oh, no,
around,
you're crossing streams.
I'm just saying. But that TV mom, I don't know, just had my heart from the moment that I'd seen her, and that's why she became my number one TV and movie mom.
I love that you worked in a Mars Needs Moms reference. Yeah. And that. We're doing topless TV and movie moms. Number 5 for me, a modern one. Okay. We've brought this show up already once today, and that would be Chili, Bluey's mom. She's awesome. She's a great mom. Watch it and tell me she's not a great mom.
She's a great mom.
She makes Estelle Getty look old. Nope, she is. Estelle Getty was a crabby bitch.
Who's the voice behind
Chill. I have no idea. Some Australian, New Zealand chick. So that's number 5 for me. Number 4, Elaine Miller in the movie Also Almost Famous, played by Frances McDormand. And she lets her kids have fun, be adventurers. Don't do drugs, but try to be responsible. Rock stars have kidnapped my kids. Comes home after being gone forever, much longer than they needed to. Just lets them sleep. She's a good mom. Be who you want to be. Be a flight attendant, whatever. But I'm your mom. I think it's a pretty great mom. Number 3, I'm going to use the same actress, just a different movie. Because I can't think of a list like this and not include this actress, and that is Sally Field. But I'm picking Forrest Gump, Sally Field. I mean, look what she did. She cared a lot about her kids' education.
I thought about the same thing.
Ain't none of these other moms that have been mentioned have done any of that.
Right, at least publicly known anyway.
Right. Maybe Peg Bundy.
Maybe.
No, she didn't love her kids enough.
No.
So I feel like she is a pretty good mom.
Yeah.
In that scenario.
For real.
Sally Field plays so many good moms in a lot of movies she's done and TV shows. So to me, Sally Field's got to be on a list like this. Number 2, Sarah Connor, Terminator 2.
Yeah.
She is she's fighting a robot to protect her kid. Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And number 1, I can't decide because I've got 2 written down, and both of them will strike a moment in some. Okay, I'm going to go with this one. Tommy's mother in Goodfellas. Here her kids show up, her son and his 2 friends show up in the middle of the night to get a shovel to bury a body, and she makes them dinner. Spaghetti, and she's a bit of a painter. Quite good, too.
Artistic.
Yeah. Look, got this dog looking one way, got this dog looking the other way. That guy looks like someone we know.
Doesn't ask any questions about the shovel.
No.
Here's some sketty.
In fact, hey, Mom, I'm going to take this knife. For those who don't know, in the scene, they have a dead body, what they think is dead, in the trunk of the car. A made man that they're going to get, ultimately, is their demise in the movie. And they stop to get a shovel at the mom's house because I guess mom lives nearby. So in the middle of the night, they show up, and she's a very old woman. And she's like, true Italian family, come in, let me make you something. They make a giant spread.
Right.
In the middle of the night, they're eating pasta while there's a dead body.
Well, you
in the trunk.
Got to take time to eat, man.
Not to spoil it for anybody, but when they finally get to the spot, they go to get ready to dig the hole. The guy's awake and alive, and they take the knife our mom just gave him, just start stabbing the heck out of the body in the back of the trunk.
That's a great movie. That
sequence of events is just brilliant. So good mom. Always there to make a meal for your kid. Accepts who the kid is. Doesn't care.
Yeah.
It is what it is. You look like you've lost weight. Let's make you, by the way, you hadn't. Let's make you some cutlets and some gravy.
Right.
My other number one was Melinda Dillon, for those who don't know who that is. That would be the mom in A Christmas Story.
Okay. Yeah, she seemed like a good mom.
She was a good mom.
Yeah. Text came in here, Sofia Vergara from Modern Family. Yeah.
I mean,
she's a good
here's the
mom.
problem I have with that and kind of some of your list. You're just going with hot.
Yeah.
Moms don't usually go in the hot category, right?
They call them MILFs for a reason, Corbin.
It's not a MILF list. If we did the top MILFs.
We'll save that for next year.
Yeah, TV and movies, I'm 100% on board.
Another text, Oedipus called and wants Gimpy's list back.
Yeah, 100%. Maggie from the ranch. Okay, sure.
Okay.
Mila Kunis, bad moms. Yeah. Again, we're back to this. See, you have Mila Kunis, bad moms. Mm-hmm. And then you have Peg Bundy and Marge Simpson. You're all over the place.
Yeah. And Linda from Bob's Burgers. I mean,
Linda, she was a good mom. Oh, no, I'm thinking of something else.
She seemed all right, I guess, but,
Julie Bowen, I think, is an attractive woman. She is not a good mom, though. She constantly is like manipulating her kids a little bit. Mm-hmm. Conspiring against them because she doesn't like one of their boyfriends.
Yeah, that doesn't seem like a good thing to do. Good mom traits.
No, she was a decent mom. She was a good
decent.
mom.
Oh, now we're backtracking. Okay, decent. Yeah, no, she was decent. She passes the test for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What was another one I saw on here? Aunt Meg and Twister. She treated everyone as her kid. That's true.
Okay, yeah.
She was great.
That's true. Gemma from Sons. Oh, no.
Well, I mean, it's still, Katie Seagal. But, I mean, in that show, she was not a good person.
I am shocked the number of times Kitty Foreman showed up on this list.
Yeah, she's a good ma. Maybe not one you
Drunk
want to bang,
all the
but
time.
So?
Okay. Lauren Graham, Gilmore Girls. Connie Britton, Friday Night Lights. I've not watched Friday Night Lights, the movie, or the TV show, so I'm not familiar with her as a movie mom, TV mom. Lindsay?
I did watch it, first couple of episodes, so I can't really say whether or not she was a good mom or not.
Roseanne. Roseanne was a good mom.
She was.
She was. Very relatable, I felt, whatever. Not as sexy as, a Mrs. Incredible.
Again, not a sexy list. All right, we got to take a break. We'll be back.
Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
So you can have the kitchen, you get to do the pool, like whatever.
Absolutely.
When they're not there, you're the caretaker.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be able to sleep in their luxurious bed with their 1,000 thread count Egyptian cotton sheets. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but they're not putting a futon
Right.
in your room.
Even then, if I don't have access to all the amenities that you have, we're talking, cars, boats, jet skis, private, planes, whatever, then I don't want any part. I would, if I had access to all that, sure, I'd do it for minimum wage. Why not?
Yeah, young me, access to all that stuff? Sure.
Yeah.
Every job's got hard days. I've told the story. I was a dog walker in San Francisco. The only difference between that job and any other job is I put the crap in my hand. That's the only difference.
Exactly.
Every job has bad things you got to deal with.
Absolutely.
And that one just happens to be the job.
Right. So, it is what it is. But look, I could throw house parties, when they're gone, invite my friends over.
You're jeopardizing your job at that point.
Absolutely. But, hey, ride the wave while you can, right?
I saw that there's a sex toy, because I have remote control sex toys, but it's always been like a handheld thing.
Right.
Now it's like an app on your phone connected via Bluetooth, and you can do all these like finger like drawing things on it, then transfers to the sexual device with the woman. And I'm like, that's really fascinating. So then I went down the rabbit hole of weird sex toys.
Okay.
They have a rose quartz crystal shaped phallic looking sex toy.
Okay.
So it's, what quartz is, right? It's like countertop.
Yeah.
Very similar to granite, except it's man made. Very shiny, heat resistant, but heavy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh, okay, I'm the only one that thinks that's weird.
It
Okay.
is weird and probably expensive.
$200. Big T's Rub My Ducky Classic. It is for the bathtub. It is a sex toy that looks like a rubber ducky and has a vibration to it. So think of the bill and all the other angles that are on it. Another one, a vibrator in the shape of a hammer.
Whoa.
Whoa. Really puts the meaning to pound it, huh?
Going to Pound Town.
Oh, God.
A tentacle dildo.
I have seen those.
They're so scary.
Weird looking, right? And I'm like, why?
This is one for guys. I've never seen this before. It has a name. It's called a godemeki. And it's a tube. It's got threads for you where you can hold it like laces almost, like a football. And then the inside's dimply.
Yeah.
A steel faux foxtail plug.
Okay. Those tails are nothing new.
No, but this one looks exactly like a tail.
Oh, my goodness.
A corn on the cob vibrator.
Corn on the cob for the country girl.
It's gone.
It's got the
I'll
juice.
tell you all about it.
Yeah. That's exactly what I thought when I saw it.
Goodness.
Corn on the cob. I gotta look.
Yeah. It makes sense if you think about the attachments that are with it.
Oh, God.
You know what I mean? Like the dimpling and bumps and all that other stuff.
Usually dimpling and bumps is not something you want to mess with, right?
Right.
You need to go see a doctor and get those bumps removed.
Some of you may have grandparents that they have like special china in some case in the dining room that's white with blue patterns on it.
Yeah.
The blue willow china.
Sure. This is a butt plug that looks like that.
Oh my goodness.
Honey, it's special anniversary night. Break out the fine china.
Yeah.
Another one, the penguin.
Uh-oh.
And it looks like a penguin whistling. And the part that would be the mouth of the penguin would apparently be where the magic happens for ladies.
The Satisfier penguin. Oh, hey, look at that. A little bow tie and everything.
The Nerd Climax Dragon Finger.
Wow.
This is a sex toy that goes on your finger, and it is the shape or has the look of a like a dragon's claw. Hey, listen, lid for every pot, whatever you got.
What?
When we were in school, we had a thing. There were like these rubber balls with handles, and you would jump on them, right? And you would have races with them.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is that, except it is for the ladies.
That's so weird.
It's a Swiss ball dildo. This is Gimpy has shown me the one he has before, which I ran, and this is the accommodator.
The accommodator.
If you're familiar with that chin strap.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, you do. And then probably the mildest one on this list would be the Clone a Willy dildo kit.
Oh, yeah, I've seen those before.
Pretty mild.
Yeah. Thought about using it,
I don't know how it would work.
What do you mean?
So have you ever seen like in Hobby Lobby they have those plaster Paris where you make the plaster Paris of like you holding your baby's
absolutely.
hand, or like you put your kid's foot in it.
Yeah, I did that in art class with my little hand. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
That would be this, except it comes in a tube, and the idea is you do what you have to do, and then you do the mold, and then it sets, and then you. I don't hair.
Yeah.
2, any sort of deviation from what's happening in a sexual moment for me, it's over.
Right. So your dildo would come out all weird and deformed, pretty much, basically.
Or smaller than the representation.
Well, what am I going to do with this thing, huh?
And do you tell people it didn't work? Like, I couldn't do it?
That's why you read the reviews first, right?
And I don't know anybody that's done it, so I can't. I know they sell them.
Oh yeah.
So I'm sure someone's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, it was great."
I'll get one over the weekend, put one together, bring it in for you Monday.
You don't have to bring it in. You can just give me the verbal review.
Drunk Florida man kicked out of bar, returns and attacks bar owner with belt. This happened last weekend in West Palm Beach. A 37-year-old man kicked out of the bar for being too intoxicated, but quickly returned wielding a firearm, according to an affidavit. Fabio Lano Sanchez, arrested by Palm Beach Sheriff's Office. According to records, he was released on last Wednesday with $60,000 bond amount.
It's the Big Mad Morning Show, 918-460-KMOD. You can also text BMMS and then what you want to say to 82945. Joining us in the studio right now is a good friend of KMOD's for a long time, and that's Recording with Cancer Sucks. Hey, buddy.
Hey, man. How's up? What's up? Can't even talk.
Yeah, it's all good. We are set for the 20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods. Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
That is quite the accomplishment, right?
Right, for anything, I think.
Absolutely.
20 years is a long time, and it just is really an homage to really the people that come out and support it, the volunteers, you and your family's hard work and dedication to it. But 20 years is a long time for any charity event to continue.
Right, and I agree. I'm floored by the fact it's been 20 years, number one, but the fact that it's still a huge event is cool. You know, just especially not only 20 years, but Tulsa, Oklahoma is a finicky place.
Sure.
You know?
And what I've always admired about you and any of your events is you keep your events, but you always evolve them in some capacity. Something will change or whatever, but it stays pretty much the same. Like it's Handlebars and Hot Rods. It's been pretty much called that the whole time. But you're doing a couple things different this year. Let's talk about what Handlebars and Hot Rods is for those that haven't been paying attention for 20 years.
Okay. It is when I started doing Cancer Sucks, I decided if I was going to do fundraising, I was going to do it with stuff that I enjoy. And because I didn't come from a fundraising background, didn't know jack about what I was doing. So cars, motorcycles, and music is what I decided we were going to do to raise money for cancer research. Handlebars and Hot Rods was my original attempt at doing that. And at that point, 20 years ago, I rode my motorcycle a lot. I drove my 67 Camaro a lot. And I just liked both of them, but there were not shows that invited motorcycles equally, and it always kind of ticked me off because I really like to ride my bike and really like to go to those kind of things. But Tulsa area didn't have anything that I felt like invited the bikers and the hot rodders equally. So I named it Handlebars and Hot Rods and made it. It transformed as you mentioned. You know, it started out as a poker run, and it's evolved into a show because, you know, when we started doing the poker run, there weren't very many of them, and we had 1,000 bikes that would come out to the Cherokee Casino and do this poker run. It was huge and awesome, and time went by, and everybody started doing poker runs, so that took us out of the novelty, so I had to change it. And that's usually the reason for the changes over the years is because somebody else started doing the same thing, and I don't want to do the same thing as everybody else, so I try to find something different every year, every event that, you know, may or may not work, but you got to try it.
Absolutely. You are always not afraid to try something that you're not 100% sure on, which is a really great quality and what I love about you and Cancer Sucks. So 20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods happening May 11th, downtown Bixby. Where are you guys going to be in downtown Bixby?
All over it. The streets are blocked. We did it last year for the first time downtown. It turned out really cool. It's just it changes the whole atmosphere of the car show because it's not just a car show in a parking lot, which there's nothing wrong with those. We've done those too, but it just gives it a really cool feel because it's little old Bixby, or what, you know, kind of is little
used
old
to be little old Bixby. Yeah.
It's little old Bixby when you get down there, but not anywhere around it. But it's really cool, and we block off all the streets. We have a Charlie Young Park where we have a PA system where we'll have a Risky Business Band will be playing, and then we'll have DJ Cliff will be out there making noise in between times as far as, you know, announcements and door prizes and all that. And then one of the things we added this year is Sapulpa Route 66 Cruise Night has started doing a Power Wheel race with kids.
Oh.
And so we're incorporating that into our event. At noon, we're going to have the first annual Cancer Sucks Power Wheel race at the car show. And the proceeds, we're still kind of working out some of the details on that, but any donations that are made through that and through the whole show in general, but especially that being a new part of it, all those proceeds will be donated to pediatric cancer research.
Wonderful.
So
what is Power Wheels?
Power Wheels, your kids have got to have a motorized vehicle, right? Your little, your little Barbie Jeep or whatever.
Frozen,
That's it.
Frozen, but yeah.
It's that.
That's fantastic.
It's those little electric cars and bikes and Jeeps and four-wheelers and whatever that these kids have. They set up a regular drag strip and they race down the street.
This is a perfect transition to point out that this is a family event.
You bet.
It isn't just motorcycles and hot rods to look at. This is a 100% a family event, from the power machine racing, which is brilliant, but also there is a kid zone.
Right. And, there's a park. I mean, it's at the park. It's focused around the park, and there's playground equipment, and it's, a big open area for kids to run and not touch cars, but, run around and have a good time. And like I said, we just added that, and we're going to see how that goes. It's a cool. When I first time I saw it, I thought that's really cool. I really want to do something like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. And if someone wanted to put their kid in that, just show up.
Yeah, you can go to Handlebars and Hot Rods page on Facebook if you're on there, on social media, and the event is under 20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods Car and Bike Show. But there's details there on for the guy that is actually doing those races. If you have questions about that, because I know nothing about it except what I just told you.
Right. You do a great job at delegating and letting people own it. When they say, I want to help out, you're like, great, here you go.
It makes it a lot easier, if you can get a few key people doing a few key things that you don't have to worry about, and you can oversee all of it. That's what happens in 20 years of doing the car show.
It's just part of the success of Cancer Sucks is that you trust the people you bring on to help out.
Right.
It being on Mother's Day is important to you. This is about... Cancer Sucks is about helping people not have to deal with cancer in the future, hopefully. Right? And it's all because of how close it hit home to you.
Right. My mother died in 1996, which, man, we just need to quit throwing dates out there because this makes me feel really old. But she died in 1996. When she was sick with cancer, she made arrangements to donate her body to cancer research. So when we started doing Cancer Sucks, it was a no-brainer. I'm going to raise money for cancer research. And so we started it that way. But what I was going to say is she died the Wednesday before Mother's Day in 1996. So we do the car show the weekend of Mother's Day every year so that Rick doesn't have to think about his mom. I've got other stuff on my mind at that point, and I don't have to dwell on the fact that, damn it, it's Mother's Day again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Keeps my mind busy. We do the same thing with the concert in November. I don't have to worry about the holidays because I've got concerts on my mind and, trying to book bands and trying to get all that stuff figured out. But anyway, that's why we do it on Mother's Day weekend. And it's a weird time to do it. For some people, it's like, oh, it's Mother's Day. And I'm like, yeah, it is.
But also it's a great way to celebrate her life.
Right. And we've done it so long and so many people know what our deal is and what the reason is. And they have their own stories. And that's what's cool about it, too, is that every event we get to listen to all the stories from everybody that's there. Some good, some bad, some you never want to hear again. Yeah. But that's part of the drill. It's just it's a cool setup.
Yeah. The thing about Handlebars and Hot Rods, which is May 11th down at downtown Bixby, is that it almost has become a support group. And that was never the intention of it, but it's become a place where people can go, I know how you feel, and you don't feel so alone. When sometimes in grief, you feel completely alone.
Exactly. And the thing that the way we approach stuff, and it's really the way I approach everything, is just I try to be as laid back as possible on stuff. So it's easier to come up to a booth at Cancer Sucks and see that we're not all stiff and wearing three-piece suits and trying to represent. We're representing real world people. We're real. We're not putting on a face for anybody. We're not doing anything. So people are comfortable coming up saying, hey, man, I just lost my aunt, and talking about it and walking away and feeling okay about it. And we have so many volunteers that have been through that, which I think almost all of them probably. But everybody can sympathize with the stories. And it's not a, yeah, okay, I got to go kind of a deal. We will sit there. Our people will sit there and listen to every single story and every single scenario and And I think that's a little different, too, because you don't have that intimidation factor as far as from a corporate standpoint. You know what I'm saying?
Without sitting in a room with donuts, coffee, and a bunch of chairs facing each other.
Yeah, that.
It's a little more relaxed and more of like, hey, we can celebrate that person.
Right. And, and we're totally all right if you bring us a beer when you come tell us your story. It's not like, we have the beer sales, we have the concessions, we have all the restaurants in downtown Bixby, and everyone's involved. But it's, like I said, we try to keep everything at a setting that's just comfortable. It wasn't our intention to be a big corporate thing like that. You know what I mean?
And we should point out, Cancer Sucks is not a big corporate thing. I know you've been...
Hey, we're a big deal, though.
You are a big deal. But you guys have been asked and pushed kind of in that direction multiple times, and you always are like, eh.
It's not what we're doing. Yeah.
It's not just, what we're here for.
Yeah, we do well with what we do, and we donate all the proceeds from every event to cancer research, and we're well over $2 million we've donated at this point, which is crazy. Super crazy.
It's a huge accomplishment, man. You should be extremely proud.
Yeah, it's just it's nuts when we sit down and think about the amount of money that we've written checks for, and a lot of that is matched along the way. Like for instance, on this event, all the proceeds from this event will be donated to the Children's Health Foundation, which is basically the pediatric research facility at OU. Excuse me. And so what's going to happen with this show is if you come up to the show and you buy a T-shirt and you spend $20, we're going to take that $20. Cancer Sucks is going to match that, so that becomes $40. We're going to take that $40 and donate it to Children's Health Foundation, and they're going to make it $80. So one T-shirt that you buy is $80 in research.
Wow.
Amazing.
That's huge.
And yeah, I mean, we've worked with these guys for a long time, and they get it. They understand what we're doing, and they like our approach, and they go out and seek some of their other corporate sponsors to, hey, will you match this car show or whatever? And we've done it for the last several years, and last year was a $20,000 donation, from a little old car show in little old Bixby, Oklahoma, by, a group of heathens.
It is a fun time, all for a good cause. It's going to be a great time to be outside. Registration's from 9 to 11. There's the car show, the Kid Zone. There's vendors. There's a bike show, live music, raffles. They're doing trophies at 2:30. You're doing the pinstriping and art auction, which is super cool for those that don't know how that works.
Right.
That is a cool addition you guys are doing. You bring a new unwrapped toy. You're going to donate those to the Children's Hospital at St. Francis.
Exactly.
Which is really great. CancerSucks.com if you want to get some information on that. We'll post the Facebook group, Facebook page on ours so you guys can see that. But it's time for the 20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods happening downtown Bixby on May 11th. Registration starts at 9. Food, beverages, everything you need right there.
Everything, even sunshine.
Awesome. Rick, congratulations, man. So excited for you guys.
I could never do it without KMOD. You guys changed our life when we started working with you guys. So you and our other corporate sponsors, most of them have been around for a while. But we couldn't do it. We couldn't go into a show like this without having everything paid for up front. That way I can stand up on that stage in front of God and everybody and say, hey, every stinking penny is going to be donated to research. Not after we pay for hot dogs, not after we pay for paper clips. Everything is covered by our corporate sponsorships. So that's cool and that's unique, and that's just another thing that we do that's a little bit different. But we appreciate our corporate sponsors and everybody's involved in this, all the volunteers, and KMOD.
20th annual Handlebars and Hot Rods, May 11th, downtown Bixby. Take a break and we'll be back.
Maybe had a wide nozzle on it, that kind of sprays broadly.
They have a pill for that, yeah. Mm-hmm. Dude, the heat's got everybody acting crazy.
Oh, I'm telling you.
That is those pictures are unbelievable, man. They are some of the more spectacular photos we've had in a while. Italian cheesemaker dies after being crushed by rounds of cheese. An Italian cheesemaker is dead. He got crushed by all the cheese on the wall. That takes a whole new effect of cheese off the cracker, right? The man was checking on his cheese in the warehouse. It's unclear how the first collapse that triggered the domino effect occurred. There were 10 corridors of shelves that stretched floor to ceiling with about 1,600 rounds of cheese per corridor. It took rescuers 11 hours to find the 74-year-old man's body underneath all the cheese. Each wheel weighs about 40, 45 pounds.
Damn.
Of Gran Padano.
Wow.
Damn.
How about that dough?
Crushed by cheese.
Not that dough. Cheese.
How about he died doing what he loved?
Sure he did.
This is the way.
The cheesiest way to die ever.
It does. It is a stinky way to die, yes.
I'm telling you.
That cheese ain't cheap either.
Right?
No.
It's like $1,000 a wheel.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah.
So we got crushed by what, a couple $100,000?
I mean, 1,600 rounds of cheese.
Yeah.
And I don't know, is that cheese ruined? Can you sell that cheese after it kills someone?
Not the ones on the very bottom of the pile,
Yeah,
I
but the
imagine.
ones on the top,
Yeah,
probably.
yeah. Like, let's just say there's like a layer of cheese on top of the dude.
Mm-hmm.
Anything after that first layer, I think, is good to resell.
So, but does it add a value to it? Like, this cheese here, this cheese fell on a man, the cheesemaker, and killed him.
Right.
Oh, I can taste the sadness.
Yeah.
Right.
I can taste like the life transferred to the cheese from him to the cheese.
Just cheese smells like death.
Have you ever been into like a cheese house?
No, I don't think so. Mm-mm.
You would remember.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, a house made completely of cheese. I would.
Well, no, not like it's not like the butter exhibit at the fair.
Right.
No, like a fromage, like a place where they sell like that's all they sell.
Worst smelling house ever.
They have sliding glass doors for each of the rooms of cheese because it's so pungent.
Oh, man. And you know how sometimes you work at places and you take that smell home with you? You know, like if you work at the dump or
Yeah.
as trash man,
Yeah.
you smell like garbage, you know? Imagine coming home and smelling like stinky foot cheese every day.
So I'm listening to this podcast and they're talking about your senses or whatever. And anyway, that you don't know what your house smells like, right? Is what
Right.
they talk. You have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that to you, it smells good or nice or whatever, comfortable. But to a stranger, they may come in and go, oh, God, their house stinks.
Yeah.
Does that hold true with somebody who works in a cheese place? Like, they're like, this smells great. Hey, it smells a little off in here. No, it always smells off in here.
Yeah.
Because you have moldy milk.
I would think that like everywhere you go, everything smells like cheese. It's just permeated in your sinuses.
It's just burned in.
Yeah. So everywhere you go smells like cheese because like I don't know anything smells like. It just smells like Parmesan to me or whatever. Ugh.
Some cheeses, I actually like super stinky cheeses.
Right?
Yeah, the taste.
And the smell.
And the smell?
Yeah, I love it. I think it's amazing. It's amazing that we're eating it. It's amazing someone went, let's put this in my mouth.
Right.
That's like it's amazing just the historical factors around the process and to have super stinky cheese. And then there's cheese not stinky at all that also tastes great.
Right. Right.
So the smell plays no part in it.
Yeah.
I think cheese is amazing.
It's so good.
Yes, it is.
Things that garbage collectors find in the trash. And it made me think twice. Maybe in some instances, we actually could get into that line of work
Oh yeah.
because of the things that they have found in the trash. Reader's Digest did a poll from garbage collectors, and I was very surprised at the things that they found and the money that they have made on the things that they have found. For example, some of the things, of course, not so nice. This guy says that his sister actually worked in waste management for the past 10 years. And 3 years ago, she had a stop at a pretty big school district. And inside the district, they had found some big boxes in the trash. And it was full of computer equipment. And she was a huge techie. And apparently, in 3 of those huge boxes were vintage mechanical keyboards worth about $100 a piece. And she helped her with selling all of them, and they made $10,000 on reselling these vintage mechanical keyboards. That's something that we could get into, or I could.
I'm not going to the garbage.
I'm not going to take the time to resell how many? 10,000 keyboards?
Yeah, they got to drop them off at the post office. Like, okay.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you got the time, it's worth the money. Former garbage man here used toilet paper all the time. Nothing worse than having a bag break and spew out mounds of used toilet paper like some type of unrighteous piñata.
This is a positive?
No, not at all.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
It seems to be awfully common. You would find something like that in the trash.
Absolutely.
It's the trash.
Yeah, not everybody flushes their waste down the toilet, the paper.
Mm-hmm. He said, honestly, though, the most disgusting thing he ever saw working as a garbage man was a coworker who regularly ate and drank things that they found in the trash.
Blech.
Yes. One man said, my dad did the recycling run. In the rich parts of town, people would throw away brand new, still in boxes, like wine glasses, shoes, and things like that. We would resell the stuff online and make a few $100 a month. That's pretty cool.
Throwing away brand new shoes.
Maybe they were the wrong size, and I don't have the time to return these. Trash them.
Sure.
I don't know.